Chapter 982. Seeing Ning Cheng's gaze fall on Yu Shizhen, Yu Jiesheng's face sank. He knew that Ning Cheng would never be a match for Xianzhen in terms of alchemy, but he still felt uncomfortable in his heart. He would let this little thing know when he really crushed this arrogant little thing to the point that it couldn't get up. He, Lu Jiesheng, was easy to talk to, not easy to bully. A mere Tao-molding divine emperor dared to disrespect Lu family. Without waiting for Ning Cheng to speak, Lu Shizhen spoke with a faint smile. It looks like Pill Master Ning wants to challenge me. Ning Cheng cupped his fists. I hope that Pill Master Lu would not hesitate to teach me. Seeing that Ning Cheng had already issued a challenge to Yu Xiaozhen, Holy Emperor Qing Yi spoke up. Pill Master Yu can propose 3 pill competition topics related to alchemy, and Pill Master Ning cannot raise any objections. The challenge begins now. Holy Emperor Qing Yi didn't want to offend Ning Cheng, nor did he want to offend Lu Shizhen. Therefore, after announcing the start of the challenge, he handed the 2 grand nullification divine fruits to Lu Shizhen and quickly left the pill platform. Yu Xiaozhen walked up to the pill platform and first gave a pill master's salute to the people on the public square. Only then did she walk over to Ning Cheng and sat down opposite him before speaking in a calm voice. Since Pill Master Ning wants to challenge me, then please name the topic. Ning Cheng stretched out his hand and spoke unhurriedly. According to the rules, I am the challenger. Pill Master Lu should be the one to set the question. Yu Shizhen laughed. Good, the younger generation will surpass us in time. Then, I will ask Alchemist Ning for advice. Alchemy is also a part of the Tao, and the Tao of alchemy is like the gate of mystery. It condenses the roots of the world and condenses the essence of the source. Pill arts are like the keys to the door. They originate from Xian Ku and are the foundation of the Tao of alchemy. Alchemist Ning, what do you think? Ning Cheng understood the meaning behind Lu Shizhen's words. That is, the very beginning of the Tao of alchemy was the condensation of the essence of all the spiritual grasses in the world. This idea was not abrupt. Many pill masters, including Ning Cheng, also thought so. But later, Lu Shizhen said that because the alchemy Tao was extracted from all things in the world, the pill arts for alchemy were also found according to the origin characteristics of all things in the world. He wanted to ask Ning Cheng if his point of view was correct. No alchemist would think that this point of view was wrong. Ning Cheng smiled. Perhaps this is Pill Master Li's alchemy Tao philosophy, but I don't think so. Just as Senior Qiu Tian had said, every alchemy master who had just started would think that the alchemy art originated from the source of the spiritual item and was the key to opening the door. Once you step into the Grand Pill Tao, you will know that pill arts are external objects. The path of alchemy changed according to the laws of heaven and earth, the density of the surrounding yuan qi, and the changes of the alchemist's state of mind. How could it be restricted by the alchemist's alchemy techniques? When you completely understand the path of alchemy, you will look back and ask with a smile, what are alchemy arts? Ning Cheng's words were not deliberately mystifying, nor was he pretending to be profound. He rarely used alchemy techniques in alchemy. This was not because he did not understand alchemy techniques, but because his alchemy Tao was indeed different from others. What he cultivated was the mysterious yellow formless. Even if he cultivated, the cultivation method that he cultivated would always be different, not to mention alchemy. After coming out of the land of broken laws, his understanding of the changes in the laws of heaven and earth had deepened, which was why he could say such words. Even if he sometimes used alchemy techniques, the alchemy techniques used for each furnace of medicinal pills were different. It was precisely because he had this ability that he could guide Jian Sanshan to refine a furnace of top-grade Tao sculpting divine pills. Yu Xiaozhen froze. He had already set up a trap for Ning Cheng to step into. As long as Ning Cheng thought that this point of view was correct, he would continue to ask about the formation of alchemy techniques and why alchemy techniques were based on the changes of all things. He had studied the alchemy Tao for countless years and was extremely proficient in the concepts of the alchemy Tao. Not to mention one Ning Cheng, even 10,000 Ning Cheng wouldn't be his opponent. Who knew that Ning Cheng would not play according to common sense and even dare to say that he disagreed with his point of view? No, this wasn't his point of view. It was the recognized point of view of the alchemy Tao. Ning Cheng not only disagreed with this widely recognized point of view of the alchemy Tao, but he even dared to say that once one truly stepped into the alchemy Tao palace, one could even abandon alchemy techniques. This was simply shameless and nonsensical. Yu Xiaozhen's face suddenly turned livid with anger. What kind of alchemy discussion was this? It was complete nonsense. It was a disgrace to discuss alchemy with such a person. Not to mention Yu Xiaozhen, even all the alchemists in the public square stared at Ning Cheng in anger. It was fine to be in the limelight, but this kind of shameless limelight had angered all the alchemists who pursued the alchemy Tao. Who didn't need alchemy techniques for alchemy? Who dared to say that alchemy needed to change according to the surrounding laws of heaven and earth? Get lost, scum of the alchemy world, with just a mouth, you dare to challenge the 5 Grandmaster Alchemists of the Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly? The crowd was so agitated that the entire alchemy discussion public square seemed to have gone out of control. Jian Sanshan, Yan Ji, and the others all looked at Ning Cheng with worried expressions. In such a grand occasion, once Ning Cheng made a big mistake, even if others wanted to kill Ning Cheng, no one would be able to stop them. Cheng Ho Tian had a worried look on his face. He knew that Ning Cheng most likely wasn't lying. Because when Ning Cheng was performing alchemy, he had seen it from the side. His spiritual consciousness couldn't detect Ning Cheng's pill furnace, but he could feel that Ning Cheng really didn't use any alchemy techniques. Immediately, he was shocked. Did this mean that Ning Cheng had touched the Grand Core realm that he had mentioned? Unfortunately, his strength was still a bit lacking. If he were in the primordial chaos realm, he might have a much easier time understanding Ning Cheng's alchemy needed to change according to the surrounding laws of heaven and earth. Yu Xiaozhen suddenly stood up and cupped his fists towards the Pill Association's association master, Sichin Qiu Tian. Senior Qiu Tian, this person didn't come here to challenge the Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly. He came here to mess up the Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly. Without waiting for Sichin Qiu Tian to speak, Ning Cheng sneered and said, "So you're saying that if you can't do it, others can? Do you still have any shame? I heard that the Barbarian Dragon Clan has a Tao Perfection expert, but no one has ever seen him. You can't reach Tao Perfection in this lifetime. According to you, the Barbarian Dragon Clan's Tao Perfection expert is just an act? A fake?" Man Huishan heard Ning Cheng's words and snorted, "Ning Cheng, if you ignore what you said, don't blame me for being impolite." He was the Barbarian Dragon Clan's Dragon Emperor, so he naturally understood Ning Cheng's meaning. Ning Cheng wasn't just attacking Yu Xiaozhen. At the same time, he was also telling the other sects that no one knew whether the Barbarian Dragon Clan had a Tao Perfection expert or not. This would also reduce the Barbarian Dragon Clan's prestige and pressure on the other sections. Ning Cheng cupped his fists and said with a smile, "I just respect a Tao Perfection expert. Since the Barbarian Dragon Emperor doesn't want me to mention it, then I won't mention it." Man Huishan snorted coldly again and ignored Ning Cheng. Yu Xiaozhen, who had already determined that Ning Cheng was talking nonsense, didn't even look at Ning Cheng. Instead, she still bowed and asked the Pill Association's association master to judge. Sichin Qiu Tian slowly said, "The Tao of alchemy is myriad. The Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly won't make a decision just because the Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly isn't unrealistic. What we don't know, others might know. What we think is impossible might seem normal to others. In fact, I once tried not to use pill arts, but it proved that it didn't work. Originally, I also thought that it wouldn't work. But when my cultivation and alchemy Tao reached a higher level and touched the edge of the Grand Core realm, I vaguely felt that maybe my alchemy Tao level wasn't up to par yet. Therefore, this isn't nonsense. The two people's viewpoints on the alchemy discussion are temporarily different. Temporarily different meant that there was no clear winner or loser for the time being. But when the Pill Discussion Grand Assembly came, if they used their alchemy Tao to prove their viewpoints, then the previous Alchemy Discussion Grand Assembly would no longer have a clear winner or loser. Even this wasn't considered Ning Cheng's loss. Many people suddenly recalled the matter of Ning Cheng and the Pill Association's Cheng Hotian. From the looks of it, Ning Cheng and Cheng Hotian's friendship had affected the association master, Si Chen Chiu Tian. Only a few cultivators who knew Si Chen Chiu Tian's character didn't think so. Lu Shizhen obviously also thought that it was because of Cheng Hotian. Feeling indignant, he no longer wanted to discuss alchemy with Ning Cheng and teach Ning Cheng a lesson. People like Ning Cheng didn't deserve to discuss alchemy with him. He spoke up in a cold voice, "Since Pill Master Ning has stepped into the ranks of the Grand Core realm, can you please refine a furnace of medicinal pills for us without using pill arts?" Ning Cheng's tone also turned cold. "Who do you think you are? Do I want to perform alchemy without using pill arts in front of you? Why should I teach you? Who do you think you are?" Ha! Lu Shizhen laughed out of anger and directly threw out a white Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card. He spoke in a gloomy tone, "Since the rules of the competition are up to me, then take out a Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card. If you don't have one, then you lose and get off the stage." His way of proposing the rules of the competition was a complete form of bullying. However, this bullying method didn't violate the rules of the competition. The Pill Association qualification card was also related to alchemy. Without passing the Pill Association's verification, one couldn't obtain a qualification card at all. Everyone understood Lu Shizhen's thoughts and felt relieved. "Aren't you very powerful? I don't even bother to compete with you in alchemy. I'm a Dao sculpting pill sage, but what about you? Can you take out a Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card to prove that you're a Dao sculpting pill sage? If you can't take it out, then get off the stage. Because you lost." Ning Cheng showed a faint smile. She had turned angry out of shame and started comparing diplomas. No matter what, Lu Shizhen only had one word for it: loss. He didn't even bother to speak and also threw out a white Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card. "You're a Dao sculpting pill sage. Why did you?" Lu Shizhen frowned and looked at the white Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card taken out by Ning Cheng with some doubts. Not waiting for him to finish, Ning Cheng spoke up, "You didn't take it out before, did you? I only need a Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card to enter the fantasy garden. If I enter here, I only need a Dao sculpting pill sage qualification card. Do I have to hang all my alchemy qualification cards on my body? Are you afraid that others won't know that I'm a Dao sculpting pill sage?" Lu Shizhen didn't get angry. Instead, he took out a silver Dao raising pill sage qualification card and didn't speak. He just stared at Ning Cheng. Chapter 983. Ning Cheng didn't bother to talk nonsense and directly took out his Dao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card and threw it out. "Pill Master Lu, if you want to compete, then let's compete. Don't compete with diplomas. I have a lot of diplomas, from school to postdoctorate." With that, he waved his hand and threw out 6 qualification cards. Lu Shizhen couldn't understand Ning Cheng's words, but he naturally recognized the pale golden Dao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card among the 6 qualification cards because he also had such a card. This was the feeling of shock in silence. Except for a few people, including Lu Shizhen, no one knew that Ning Cheng was also a Dao Transformation Pill Saint. The other qualification cards were fine, but the pale golden Dao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card was particularly eye-catching. Now that Ning Cheng had even taken out his Dao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card, he was undoubtedly a Dao Transformation Pill Saint. Even if Cheng Hotian and Ning Cheng had a good relationship, he wouldn't dare to casually give Ning Cheng a Dao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card. At this moment, no one dared to look down on Ning Cheng anymore. Even the alchemy theory that Ning Cheng had spouted before had now become real. The few pill masters who had scolded Ning Cheng before also shrunk their heads. Ning Cheng was a Tao sculpting pill deity, so it didn't matter if they scolded him. But Ning Cheng was a Tao transformation pill saint, so they couldn't afford to hold him accountable. Even Lu Jiesheng frowned. He didn't expect Ning Cheng to be a Tao transformation pill saint. No wonder Cheng Ho Tian of the Pill Association was so polite to Ning Cheng. It would be strange if such a young Tao transformation pill saint wasn't polite. Ning Cheng was a Tao transformation pill saint, so it was almost certain that Ning Cheng had opened the 13th door of the illusion garden. Jing Han's face was gloomy. Ning Cheng was an ordinary Tao sculpting divine emperor. Even if he was a pill deity, it wouldn't matter if he killed him. But if Ning Cheng was a Tao transformation pill saint, his great god pill sect wouldn't dare to kill him. How many Tao transformation pill saints were there in the Grand Essence realm? Every Tao transformation alchemy saint was equivalent to a big force. The reason why his great god pill sect dared to say that it would enter the top 10 sects was because of him. Ning Cheng is a rogue cultivator, but he's also a Tao transformation pill saint. Shi Tianhe stared at Ning Cheng in shock, her expression changing. What the 9 revolutions sacred Tao pond lacked was powerful alchemists. Ning Cheng was a rogue cultivator, but he was also a powerful Tao transformation pill saint. It would have been strange if she hadn't fallen for him. Sitting next to Shi Tianhe was a woman with a few wrinkles on her face. After Ning Cheng took out the Tao transformation pill saint qualification card, she turned to look at Shi Tianhe in confusion. Tianhe, why did my 9 revolution sacred Tao pond only learn about a rogue cultivator's Tao transformation pill saint now? Shi Tianhe hurriedly bowed and said respectfully, Martial Ant Dai Fu, this person likes to hide his abilities. Even Lu Shizhen, who is fighting him on the stage, should not know that he is a Tao transformation alchemy saint, let alone us. The woman named Dai Fu nodded. Shi Tianhe was right. If Yu Su had known that Ning Cheng was a Tao transformation pill saint, he would not have used the Pill Association's qualification card to compete. Tianhe, this person can be invited to my 9 revolution sacred Tao pond. Even if we have to pay some price, although Martial Ant Dai Fu didn't continue, Shi Tianhe already understood her martial ant's meaning and spoke up respectfully, yes, Martial Ant, I understand. After Grand Essence sees Sunken Fish Palace's Tsin Rushuan saw Ning Cheng take out the Tao transformation pill saint qualification card, she secretly thought that she had guessed correctly. Ning Cheng really was a Tao transformation pill saint. Aunt Xian, I understand your painstaking efforts. The woman with a veil on her face sitting next to Tsin Rushuan suddenly spoke up. Tsin Rushuan shook her head. Whether he understood or not, it was useless to say it now. Ning Cheng didn't have the slightest interest in her honey trap. Besides, he already had a stunning beauty by his side. Or I can talk to him after the pill discussion conference ends. The woman with a veil on her face took the initiative to speak up when she saw Tsin Rushuan not speaking. Tsin Rushuan sighed, Yueshu, you don't have to feel wronged. It's useless to talk about it. She had spoken tactfully. In fact, she knew that Ning Cheng wouldn't care about Yueshu, so she had tactfully asked Yueshu not to feel wronged. The woman called Yueshu smiled slightly, I know people like him very well. He swings his position, likes to show off, and is vain. However, he does have some skills. She thought that she knew Ning Cheng very well. Ning Cheng sailed with the wind and changed his face quickly. He also liked to show off. It would be too easy for her to deal with such a person. She was 90% sure that she could make Ning Cheng obediently work for the Sunken Fish Palace without touching her fingers. 2 men were sitting next to Percy from the Void Star sect. One was as thin as a skeleton and looked very delicate. The other had a dark face and a pair of very slender eyes hanging under his forehead, which made him look a little uncoordinated. After seeing Ning Cheng take out the Tao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card, the dark-faced man with uncoordinated eyes said in a deep voice, Percy, it seems that you have a good eye. This person is really a Tao transformation pill saint. Percy hurriedly said, Sect Master, Ning Cheng is a very upright person. He and I are compatible, so he agreed to refine elixirs for me. I only hope that even if he fails, Sect Master will not blame him. Otherwise, I will have no face to live. The dark-faced man smiled slightly, don't worry. If he fails, I won't hurt him. He wouldn't hurt him, but he would definitely kill this ant-like alchemy master. The Void Star sect had even lost a Tao Essence Sacred Emperor for the sake of the sky-extending bone pill's main spirit herbs. If Ning Cheng dared to fail, he would have to pay with his life. No matter how much Percy guaranteed, he wouldn't be able to save Ning Cheng's life. Unfortunately, Percy didn't know this. In his opinion, the sect master's words naturally carried enormous weight. In fact, the sect master hadn't lied to him. Ning Cheng didn't know either. Given Ning Cheng's temperament, he would have spat on anyone who dared to threaten him with his life for alchemy. So what if he was the Void Star sect master? If he didn't want to refine, then he wouldn't. The universe is vast, and I don't believe you can find me. Even if he was caught and forced to refine pills, he would do everything possible to tamper with the medicinal pills. Are you also a Tao transformation pill sage? Lu Shizhen no longer looked down on Ning Cheng. Sometimes, people were like this. Looking at some superficial titles, whether it was an immortal or an ordinary person, they all had the same disposition. Ning Cheng put away all the qualification cards and said, the pill conference is meaningless compared to these. Since I want to challenge you, you should come up with some practical questions. I heard that you can come up with 3 questions. As long as I lose one, you win. Now that you've come up with 2 questions, you still have a chance to ask one. Do you want to come up with one? Lu Shizhen took in a deep breath, put away his qualification card, and said to Ning Cheng with a cautious expression, this round, let's compete in alchemy. I'll refine first. If there's anything lacking, I hope Pill Sage Ning can point it out. While speaking, Lu Shizhen raised his hand and brought out a dark red pill furnace. Then, with another wave of his hand, strands of divine grasses floated around him. This was the Pill Conference's Pill Conference. If Lu Shizhen wanted to refine a medicinal pill, he naturally had to let others' spiritual consciousnesses see which divine grasses he used. He also had to let others know what medicinal pill he wanted to refine. Dragon Soul Fruit. Using this Tao transformation Tao fruit for alchemy. A pill master on the public square recognized the Tao fruit that Lu Shizhen wanted to use and immediately spoke up. This Tao fruit contains a trace of a true dragon soul sense law. Not only is it clear, but it's also extremely fragile. It's even more difficult to put it into a pill. Pill Sage Lu really has the courage to use this Tao fruit for alchemy. The Pill Conference public square was filled with alchemy experts. As soon as Lu Shizhen took out the dragon soul fruit, not only did some people recognize it, but some even deciphered the characteristics of the dragon soul fruit. Jing Han also frowned slightly. From the looks of it, Lu Shizhen didn't use his full strength during the Pill Conference. At least, he couldn't use the dragon soul fruit for now. Wait, dragon soul fruit for alchemy? Lu Shizhen didn't want to refine the Essence Meridian Crossing pill, right? Did he have the ability? Void Severing Divine Flower. When he saw the Void Severing Divine Flower, Jing Han's face turned gloomy. At this moment, he was sure that Lu Shizhen was really going to refine the Essence Meridian Crossing pill. Since Lu Shizhen dared to refine the Essence Meridian Crossing pill, it meant that he was confident. Jing Han had always thought that he was the strongest Tao transformation pill sage. Previously, when he was defeated by Do Jiangshi, he was very angry. Now, it seemed that even Lu Shizhen's alchemy Tao level was above his. It would be strange if he could feel happy after such a series of blows. Void Severing Divine Flower. Pill Sage Lu is actually going to refine the Essence Meridian Crossing pill. The pill masters on the public square could also see what kind of pill Lu Shizhen was going to refine. If there were 10 Tao transformation pills that were the most difficult to refine, then the Essence Meridian Crossing pill would definitely be one of them. This Tao transformation pill required 2 types of spirit herbs of laws. One was the Tao transformation Tao fruit, the dragon soul fruit, and the other was the void severing divine flower. Among the Tao transformation pills, the most popular one was the purple heaven pill. However, the difficulty of refining the purple heaven pill was probably not even 1/10 that of the Essence Meridian Crossing pill. The Essence Meridian Crossing pill was one of the few Tao fruits that could allow sacred emperors below the Tao transformation realm to change their meridians. The Essence Meridian Crossing pill could remove the stagnant Tao intent in the meridians, expand the meridian strength, and improve the cultivation Tao foundation. Any pill that could improve the Tao foundation of a sacred emperor was a priceless treasure. Not to mention that the Essence Meridian Crossing pill could remove the stagnant Tao intent and expand the meridians. It could also increase the chances of some sacred emperors who could not advance to the primordial Tao realm. When Ning Cheng saw the alchemy spirit herbs that Lu Shizhen took out, he knew that he was going to refine the Essence Meridian Crossing pill, which made Ning Cheng frown. It was not that he could not compare to Lu Shizhen, but that he could not take out such a precious divine herb. He could refine many Tao transformation pills, but none of them could compare to the Essence Meridian Crossing pill. It seemed that the Essence Meridian Crossing pill was Lu Shizhen's trump card. He had not taken it out before because he had not met an opponent. Thinking of the hard-to-refine Tao transformation pills, Ning Cheng suddenly thought of Percy. Percy had asked him to refine a furnace of sky-extending bone vein pills. In terms of difficulty, the sky-extending bone vein pill definitely surpassed the Essence Meridian Crossing pill. If there were 3 Tao transformation pills that were the most difficult to refine, then the sky-extending bone vein pill would definitely be one of them. The problem was that he had not obtained the materials for the sky-extending bone vein pill yet. What should he do? Chapter 984. Soon, everyone was attracted by Yu Shizhen's alchemy method. Yu Shizhen's flame was very peculiar, it was black with a trace of white. When Ning Cheng saw this flame, he immediately understood that Yu Su's flame had also stepped into the spirit flame realm. However, this flame should not be as high-leveled as his nameless flame, let alone comparable to the celestial river flame. Strand after strand of divine grasses were thrown into the pill furnace by Lu Shizhen. At the beginning, there were still some traces, but towards the end, Lu Shizhen's every move carried a trace of Tao charm aura. Even those who did not know anything about pill concoction could tell that Yu Su's pill concoction technique was extremely natural, and was definitely stronger than Do Jiangshi, who took first place. Ning Cheng secretly praised them in his heart. They truly deserved to be the city master's mansion that controlled the fantasy orchard and had many Tao fruits to practice with. If she had enough primordial Tao fruits to practice, Lu Shizhen would definitely be a primordial Tao alchemy saint now. This was because Lu Shizhen was already on the verge of becoming a primordial Tao alchemy saint. No wonder he disdained to participate in the illusion fruit garden. Ning Cheng had never seen the Tao essence Tao fruits in the illusion fruit garden. From the looks of it, Yu Su truly didn't care about those Tao fruits below the Tao essence realm. Of course, another reason was that Lu Jiesheng didn't want to eat too badly. Every time the fantasy fruit garden opened, the city lord's mansion was the biggest winner. Even if Ning Cheng plotted against him this time, Lu Jiesheng still managed to obtain nearly 100 Tao fruits from Do Jiangshi. If Lu Shi really participated in the fantasy garden again, a lot of people would probably be jealous. So strong. Sitting next to Percy, the dark-faced man stared intently at Yu Su's movements, his eyes gleaming brightly as he murmured to himself. Then, he turned to look at Percy and asked in a deep voice, "Percy, what do you think about Ning Cheng's attainment in the Tao of alchemy compared to Yu Xiaozhen?" Percy hesitated for a while, before saying, "I can't be sure. This Lu Shi from the city lord's mansion didn't participate in the fantasy garden, so I don't know his true level of alchemy." The dark-faced man with slender eyes understood Percy's meaning. Percy felt that Ning Cheng was not as serious as Lu Su, but he did not say it out loud. With Lu Shijian's level of alchemy, she was probably not inferior to Si Chen Chiu Tian. The dark-faced man did not continue asking Percy. Instead, he sent a voice transmission to the skeletal man standing next to him. Ancestor Kong, with Yu Suzhen's alchemy skills, he should be able to concoct the pill we want, and the success rate is very high. I had some dealings with the Yu clan in the past, so I believe I can get him to help. The skeletal man nodded and did not speak. No matter how low profile Yu Jiesheng kept, Yu Xiaozhen's powerful attainment in Dao Core had caused the eyes of many to flicker, and some thoughts began to form in their minds. The illusion orchard had been controlled by the Lu clan for too long. Every dog has its day. It was time for someone else to take control of the illusion orchard. Feeling some spiritual consciousnesses falling on him, Lu Jiesheng also felt very helpless. His only thought was to become even more angry with Ning Cheng. If it weren't for Ning Cheng, Yu Su would have acted according to his wishes and kept a low profile. In the end, he would just be an ordinary Dao transformation pill saint. Although this would cause others to be jealous, it wouldn't be like this. Time passed slowly. Everyone was so absorbed in Yu Su's alchemy technique that they completely forgot about the changes in the surrounding time. 2 hours, half a day, when the day was about to pass, Lu Shijian's hand seals changed from traceable to traceless shadows, and one after another, mysterious pill techniques fell into the pill furnace. The essence meridian transcending pill had yet to come out of the furnace, but after Yu Shijian's pill techniques fell, a fragrant pill aura spread out from the pill furnace. The essence meridian transcending pill was a top-grade Dao transformation pill. Even the fragrance alone was enough to make everyone feel a trace of difference. Amazing! This pill fragrance shows that the essence meridian transcending pill is not only about to form, but also at least a top-grade pill. Pill Sage Lu must have held back. With this level of alchemy Dao, I'm afraid he's close to a primordial Dao pill saint, right? That goes without saying. If there was a primordial Dao fruit, Pill Sage Lu would have already become a primordial Dao pill saint. As Yu Xiaozhen was about to finish the essence meridian transcending pill, many alchemists immersed in the Dao charm of the alchemy Dao came back to their senses and sighed. The alchemists here were all experts in the grand essence realm's alchemy Dao. Although they could not refine the essence meridian transcending pill, it did not affect their vision. When Cheng Ho Tian saw Yu Shijian's alchemy technique and the Dao charm of the alchemy Dao, he sighed in his heart. Although Ning Cheng's alchemy technique was very strong, he might not necessarily be as strong as Yu Xiaozhen. The only thing he could look forward to was that Ning Cheng's alchemy time would be much shorter than Yu Xiaozhen's. However, the Dao of alchemy did not compare the alchemy time, but the quality of the pill and the difficulty of the pill. Only when two people's pills were exactly the same would the time taken to refine pills be used as a consideration. Ding 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 ding. While everyone was still intoxicated by the pill fragrance and Yu Shijian's technique, Yu Shijian pulled out a white shadow from the pill furnace. These shadows fell into a jade plate that Yu Shijian had already prepared. Like pearls falling into a pot, they made crisp tinkling sounds. 12 milky white pills were scattered on the jade plate. The faint pill fragrance combined with the unique pill fragrance of the essence meridian transcending pill made it look beautiful. Although the pills were not put into the jade bottles, everyone could see the 12 essence meridian transcending pills on the jade plate. 7 top-grade pills, 5 top-grade pills, and no middle-grade or low-grade pills. Good pill. Even Si Chen Chiu Tian couldn't help but praise. Even he couldn't refine such a perfect furnace of essence meridian transcending pills. With Si Chen Chiu Tian's words, the pill discussion public square felt like boiling water, completely conquered by the 12 essence meridian transcending pills. Lu Shijian placed a pill protecting restriction on the jade plate, before placing the jade plate on the display of the pill discussion platform. She then looked at Ning Cheng and slowly spoke, "Pill Master Ning, I have finished refining the pill. I would like to ask Pill Master Ning to show us an alchemy technique that does not require a pill art. Lu Shizhen himself was also very satisfied. This batch of medicinal pills was completed perfectly while he was holding his breath. Even if he had to refine another furnace of essence meridian transcending pills, he most likely wouldn't be able to refine such perfect pills. He wasn't a person who would willingly admit defeat. The greater the pressure, the more he could display his skills. As for what he said just now, he didn't mean to look down on Ning Cheng. Since Ning Cheng could take out the qualification card of a Dao transformation pill saint, it showed that Ning Cheng's alchemy Dao level definitely couldn't be underestimated. Yu Shizhen knew that apart from his innate sensitivity towards the alchemy Dao, being born in the Yu clan was also a factor that couldn't be ignored. There wasn't a single sect or family clan that could casually take out all sorts of Dao fruits to practice like he did. Therefore, he not only didn't look down on Ning Cheng, but also respected and admired Ning Cheng for being a Dao transformation pill saint. Ning Cheng cupped his fists towards Yu Shizhen and said in a cautious tone, "Pill Master Yu is indeed a powerhouse in the alchemy Dao. Ning Cheng really admires you." Yu Shizhen's ability had also won Ning Cheng's respect. As for Yu Shizhen having many Dao fruits to practice with, that was secondary. Without the understanding of Dao pills, no amount of Dao fruits could cultivate a powerhouse in the alchemy Dao like Yu Shizhen. The fervent voices gradually quieted down, as all the people's gazes fell on Ning Cheng. Yu Shizhen had really succeeded in refining the essence meridian transcending pills. Everyone on the public square wanted to know if Ning Cheng's alchemy Dao level was as good as his mouth. Or was Ning Cheng just a braggart who only knew how to talk but couldn't do it? Ning Cheng took in a deep breath and his eyes fell on Percy. He had already noticed the two men beside Percy. The dark-faced man with slender eyebrows looked like a vast void, and he should be a Dao transformation expert. The other man looked like a skeleton and looked sickly. Although Ning Cheng couldn't tell if this skeleton-like man was the one who had been poisoned, he guessed that he should be. Since these two men came here with Percy, apart from seeing his alchemy Dao level, they also wanted to see if there were any other powerful alchemy masters around. "Brother Percy, I want to borrow some materials for a medicinal pill. I will refine it here today. As for the others, just follow what I said before," Ning Cheng said to Percy while standing on the pill platform. He believed that Percy could understand what he meant. He wanted to help Percy refine the sky-extending bone vein pill here. This way, he could help Percy refine the pill and also defeat Yu Shizhen with the help of the sky-extending bone vein pill. If it were before participating in the fantasy garden, Ning Cheng wouldn't have dared to say such a thing. But now, even if Yu Shizhen refined the essence vein crossing pill, Ning Cheng still felt confident that he could defeat him. In order to refine this furnace of sky-extending bone vein pill, he had secluded himself in the rest stop for 10 days, using various Dao fruits to refine Dao pills every day. One could say that Ning Cheng's alchemy level was on a completely different level compared to Ning Cheng's current alchemy level. Percy felt overjoyed and quickly stood up and said, "Of course, we brought the medicinal pill materials." "Wait." The dark-faced man with slender eyes next to Percy interrupted Percy's words. While Percy was still in shock, he said to Ning Cheng, "Pill Master Ning, the medicinal pill materials that Percy told you about are on the way. They should arrive at Heaven Essenced Sacred City soon. At that time, I will have to trouble Pill Master Ning." Percy's expression suddenly turned ugly. The sect master clearly had the materials for the sky-extending bone vein pill, but the sect master said that they were still on the way. Didn't this mean that he didn't want to take out the materials for Ning Cheng to compete? Percy instantly understood that the sect master wanted to ask Yu Shizhen for help in alchemy, which was why he used a delaying method to refuse Ning Cheng. He glanced at the Void Star sect's old ancestor and opened his mouth. But in the end, he didn't dare to speak. Ning Cheng sneered. How could he not see the intentions of this dark-faced and slender-eyed powerhouse? Seeing Yu Shizhen's strength, he wanted Yu Shizhen to refine pills for him. In other words, this was equivalent to a unilateral breach of contract. If it were any other time, Ning Cheng wouldn't have gotten angry. Chapter 985. The dark-faced man, addressed as Sect Master, by Percy, spoke up coldly, "Pill Master Ning, are you threatening me?" Ning Cheng spoke up calmly, "I wouldn't dare. It was my fault for what I said just now, and I apologize to Senior. Senior, please be magnanimous and forget about what I said just now." After saying that, Ning Cheng no longer looked at the dark-faced man. When the Void Star sect refused the heaven-replenishing bone vein pill, he had blacklisted them. He believed that Percy could understand the meaning of his words. That is, the matter of him refining the heaven-replenishing bone vein pill for your Void Star sect is equivalent to not mentioning it again. The dark-faced man gave a cold snort. If this wasn't the pill discussion conference, he would have already slapped Ning Cheng to ashes for daring to talk to him like this. Percy sighed. He didn't have a deep relationship with Ning Cheng, but he felt that Ning Cheng was a friend worth associating with. He also understood Ning Cheng's temperament. If he wanted to take advantage of Ning Cheng and not eat even the slightest loss, he would have to give up on this idea as soon as possible. On the contrary, if he was willing to eat some losses, he would gain more. Ning Cheng was not the kind of person who treated his friends badly. Ning Cheng didn't even care about Man Huishan and Lu Jiesheng, so he naturally wouldn't kneel down and beg the Void Star sect. What's more, the Void Star sect was the one asking him for alchemy, not the other way around. At this time, everyone in the square understood that Ning Cheng wanted to borrow the alchemy materials from the Void Star sect to challenge Lu Shizhen. Listening to Ning Cheng's tone, this matter had already been agreed upon before, but for some reason, the Void Star sect suddenly reneged and didn't want to lend it to him for the time being. Pill Sage Lu has already finished refining a furnace of foundation pulse-crossing pills. Alchemist Ning challenged him, so why hasn't he started refining the pills yet? A man sitting next to Cheng Ho Tian suddenly asked in a disdainful tone. He even addressed Lu Shizhen as Pill Sage, while addressing Ning Cheng as Pill Master. Most likely, Ning Cheng had a suspicious origin as a Pill Sage. When Ning Cheng saw Cheng Ho Tian frown, he immediately understood that this person had a poor relationship with Cheng Ho Tian in the pill gathering. "This Dao friend, does the challenge limit the time I can refine pills?" Ning Cheng asked in confusion. "There is no time limit, but does Pill Master Ning have to stand on the pill platform all the time? Alchemist Ning might have the time to waste like this, but we don't have the time to waste with you." Ning Cheng cupped his fists towards Si Chen Chiu Tian, and then cupped his fists towards the rest in the square. And said, "Pill Sage Lu has to refine pills for a day." Ning Cheng cupped his fists towards Si Chen Chiu Tian before cupping his fists towards the rest of the people on the public square. "Just now, Pill Sage Lu gave me a day's time to refine the pill. If I can't refine the pill within a day, then I'll consider it my loss." With Ning Cheng's words, the man could only shut up and not speak. Chen, Cheng, and the Tian, and Pill Man couldn't Cheng. Sage, Cheng. Sage, and Cheng, Ning, Dao Ning, and Master. And Mo, Ning, Dao, Pill, and Pill Sage Lu has just refined a furnace of essence meridian crossing pills. Although I have Dao fruits, I don't have anything more difficult to refine than the essence meridian crossing pill. Even if I were to refine the most difficult pill I have, I would only be on par with Pill Saint Lu at most. Before Ning Cheng could finish, he was interrupted by a sneer from the square. Tai. Although Pill Sage Ning has the Dao Transformation Pill Sage qualification token, you can't speak carelessly. Even Dao Transformation Pill Sages are divided into several grades. The Dao of Alchemy needs to be cautious. Pill Sage Ning is also someone who pursues the Dao of Alchemy. I hope that Pill Sage Ning can refine a Tide pill before saying this. Ning Cheng was too lazy to argue with this person, and continued to speak. All the Dao friends present here, today I promise that as long as someone can provide the materials for the pill that is even more difficult to refine than the essence crossing vein pill, and is willing to refine it for me, then I am willing to refine it for you for free. The pill discussion square turned silent, and no one spoke. If Ning Cheng had said that it was an ordinary Dao transformation pill, someone would have already taken it out and asked Ning Cheng to help refine it. However, the Dao transformation pill that was more difficult to refine than the essence meridian crossing pill, apart from a few, was the primordial Dao pill. Not to mention the primordial Dao pill, even if there were only a few of them, which pill's materials weren't heaven-defying. Which kind of elixir's ingredients didn't require untold hardships to gather. Only an idiot would take out such a precious material for you to practice within a competition. Percy looked at the sect master again. Not to mention that he had promised Ning Cheng, just because he and Ning Cheng were friends, he should have taken out the sky-extending vein bone pill for Ning Cheng to refine. However, the sect master didn't take out the materials, leaving Ning Cheng in an awkward situation with no pills to refine on the pill platform. He wouldn't have the face to see Ning Cheng in the future. Yen Ji clenched her fists. She hated that she didn't have any precious materials for Ning Cheng to refine pills on the pill platform. Cheng Ho-Tian also felt helpless. He did have the divine herbs for such pills, but he was the host of the pill discussion square. However, he was the one who presided over the pill discussion, and some people had already said that he was faking it for Ning Cheng. If he took out such alchemy materials to help Ning Cheng, then even if Ning Cheng won, people would start talking behind his back. Ning Cheng sighed in his heart. Ning Cheng didn't believe that no one in this square could come up with materials more difficult to refine than the essence meridian transcending pill. All the geniuses of the alchemy Dao in the grand essence realm and the sect masters of the major sects were gathered here. Moreover, these people came here to participate in the pill discussion grand assembly. What pill materials couldn't they have? The reason why they hadn't taken them out until now wasn't that they couldn't take out the materials, but that no one was willing to believe Ning Cheng. After all, the value of such materials was hard to estimate. After waiting for half an incense stick of time, Ning Cheng decided to refine the silent dust reincarnation pill. The main divine herbs for the silent dust reincarnation pill were the Dao transformation Dao fruit, the silent dust Dao pill, and the reincarnation tears. In terms of difficulty, it wasn't as difficult as the essence meridian transcending pill. However, it was one of the most difficult Dao transformation pills to refine. Ning Cheng had no choice but to choose the silent dust reincarnation pill. The most difficult Dao transformation pill to refine was the silent dust reincarnation pill. In the pill discussion grand assembly, even if one's alchemy Dao level was higher than others, one still had to admit defeat. Not for anything else, but because one couldn't take out the materials. Pill Master Ning, I have a furnace of materials. I'm afraid that you won't dare to refine it. Ning Cheng had just turned around when a sudden voice came from the pill discussion public square. Ning Cheng looked back and saw the person who spoke. It was a silver-haired young man with a somewhat demonic look. However, Ning Cheng quickly understood why this silver-haired man was willing to take out the alchemy materials to help him. It was because Ning Cheng knew the silver-haired woman next to this silver-haired man. She was the woman who Manjuran had forced to go to the mysterious Yellow Starland and ended up chained to the top of Sacred Light City's 9 Emperor Peak by Manjuran. Ning Cheng had saved her life at that time. Therefore, this silver-haired man said that he had the alchemy materials because of this silver-haired woman. Sure enough, seeing Ning Cheng look over, the silver-haired woman smiled and nodded to Ning Cheng but didn't speak. Ning Cheng also nodded to her before turning to the silver-haired man and saying, "As long as you can take it out, I dare to refine it. If I break it, I'm afraid I won't be able to compensate you for the time being." Ha! The silver-haired man laughed, "Since you dare to refine it, then I'll take it out for you to refine. As for compensation, forget it. I'm afraid you can't afford it." If it breaks, then I, Gong Huayu, will take it. All eyes on the public square focused on this silver-haired man. Ning Cheng was also a Tao transformation pill saint. Not to mention the wealth he had before, just the income from the fantasy orchard alone made him richer than most pill masters. This silver-haired man named Gong Huayu spoke with such a big tone, saying that Ning Cheng couldn't afford it. At this moment, everyone wanted to know what kind of medicinal pill Gong Huayu wanted Ning Cheng to refine. I want you to refine the 6-yin soul pill. The word 6-yin soul pill felt like a big hand strangling people's necks. After it was thrown out, it instantly suffocated the entire pill discussion public square. Even Ning Cheng found it hard to believe. He did know about the 6-yin soul pill. Moreover, he had specifically looked into this medicinal pill and knew its pill recipe. Not only that, but he also found the pill recipe for the 6-yin soul pill in the furnace. The 6-yin soul pill in the furnace was slightly different from the 6-yin soul pill in the outside world. However, Ning Cheng believed that the 6-yin soul pill in the furnace was more accurate. Whether it was the 6-yin soul pill in the furnace or the 6-yin soul pill that Ning Cheng found outside, there were 3 main divine grasses. In addition, there were nearly 200 auxiliary divine grasses. The first of the 3 main divine grasses was the 6-yin fruit. The 6-yin fruit was a Tao fruit that contained a higher level of heaven and earth laws. If one had to classify it, it should be classified as a primordial Tao law divine grass. In other words, the 6-yin soul pill was a primordial Tao pill. The minimum requirement for refining a primordial Tao pill was to be a primordial Tao pill saint. However, Ning Cheng was just a Tao transformation pill saint. In addition, the 6-yin soul pill also contained 2 kinds of nomological divine grasses. One was the 9-turn soul grass and the other was the forget sorrow flower. These 2 kinds of nomological divine grasses were both at the Tao transformation level. Because of this, the 6-yin soul pill was even more difficult to refine. Even among the primordial Tao pills, the 6-yin soul pill was considered difficult to refine. The sky-extending pattern bone pill couldn't compare to it at all, let alone the essence meridian crossing pill. If one had to compare the essence meridian crossing pill with the 6-yin soul pill, it would only be a comparison between a child and an adult. The 6-yin soul pill also had another characteristic, that is, it had a full pill size of 6, not 12. The reason why Ning Cheng looked for the 6-yin soul pill was that it could bring the dead back to life. In fact, even in the true cultivation world and the starry sky, it was very difficult to bring the dead back to life. This kind of resurrection didn't happen when one's essence spirit was still present, but when one's essence spirit was shattered and one's soul dissipated. The 6-yin soul pill could allow people below the primordial Tao realm to have a 40% chance of regathering their soul after their essence spirit was shattered and their soul dissipated. The prerequisite was that one's physical body must exist. Otherwise, it would be meaningless. Chapter 986. The reason why Ning Cheng was looking for the 6-yin soul pill was because of Sun Hanrui. Sun Hanrui was his friend, but she also died because of him. After Sun Hanrui fell, Ning Cheng took her body with him. It's just that he didn't have the ability to revive Sun Hanrui. When he was in the starry sky, he heard that to find Sun Hanrui's soul, he had to go to the underworld realm. However, his strength was far from enough to go to the underworld realm. The 6-yin soul pill was a Tao essence pill that Ning Cheng came to know about after coming to the grand essence realm. You want me to refine the 6-yin soul pill? Ning Cheng even looked at Gong Huayu with some excitement. He knew that he couldn't get the materials for the 6-yin soul pill, which made him give up on the idea. However, he didn't expect Gong Huayu to be so generous and take out the materials for the 6-yin soul pill for him to refine. Although Ning Cheng knew that Gong Huayu might have saved the silver-haired woman because of him, Ning Cheng still felt grateful. Did I hear it wrong? 6-yin soul pill. Dao Essence Dao Pill. It must be a mistake. The materials for the 6-in Soul Pill are precious. Even the top 10 sects might not be able to come up with them, right? That Gong Huayu is the young sect master of the Grand Essence C's Silver Dragon sect, one of the top 10 sections. The Dao discussion public square reacted like someone had thrown a tofu into a pot of hot oil. Just when others still doubted Gong Huayu's words, Gong Huayu spoke with certainty, "Yes, I want you to refine the 6-in Soul Pill. The materials for this pill have been in my Grand Essence C's Silver Dragon clan for many years, but they haven't been able to turn into medicinal pills. I think that even after so many years, I'm afraid that they wouldn't be able to turn into medicinal pills. So, I might as well help you today." Everyone understood that Gong Huayu was just speaking out of politeness. This pill material, even if it couldn't be turned into medicinal pills, was still invaluable. Even if it was put up for auction, there would still be crowds of people competing for it. Gong Huayu wasn't an idiot, so why would he take out such precious pill materials? He obviously wanted to win Ning Cheng over. After all, Ning Cheng was a Dao transformation pill saint. If such a person could be roped in with a set of Dao transformation pill materials, it would not be a loss. However, using primordial Dao pill materials to rope him in seemed a little overboard. Some people who had Dao transformation Dao pill materials, which were more difficult to refine than the Essence Meridian Crossing pill, felt some regret in their hearts. They hadn't thought of taking out the materials to win over Ning Cheng. Even if Ning Cheng ruined the materials for the pill, so what? It was definitely worth it to rope in a Dao transformation alchemy saint. Grand Essence seized Sun Rushuan sighed and said, "This Silver Dragon clan's junior palace master is truly bold. He even dared to take out the materials for the 6-in Soul Pill. My ideas seem to be a little worse than his." She had only thought of using beautiful women to win over Ning Cheng, but had never thought of using medicinal pills and materials to win him over. If she had known that such a thing would happen in the alchemy discussion conference, she would have tried everything to take out a set of Dao transformation elixir materials that were even more difficult to refine than the Essence Meridian Crossing pill to rope Ning Cheng in. Looking at that Gong Qianyu and Ning Cheng flirting with each other, Gong Huayu really is an idiot. Maybe the two of them made him a cuckold, yet he still took out the 6-in Soul pill to give to Ning Cheng. The woman with a veil over her face next to Sun Rushuan gave a snort and spoke in an extremely low voice. Sun Rushuan frowned and spoke with a slightly stern tone, "Don't say such things in the future." Although she reprimanded Yueshu, she still sighed in her heart. Yueshu was a cultivation genius, but she stayed in seclusion all year round, which made her Dao very weak. Moreover, her worldly wisdom couldn't compare to Zhongmeng Yuxiu, whose cultivation was far lower than hers. Ning Cheng bowed to Gong Huayu and cupped his fists. "Many thanks, Brother Gong. Regardless of anything else, I, Ning Cheng, owe you a favor." Gong Huayu came out and handed a ring to Ning Cheng with a smile. "Then I wish you success." Ning Cheng put away the ring and spoke again, "Brother Gong, I have a presumptuous request. If the 6-in Soul pill succeeds, I would like to ask Brother Gong for one." Gong Huayu laughed, "Let's follow the normal market. If the pill succeeds, we'll split it in half. If it doesn't, then forget it." Ning Cheng nodded and didn't refuse. Since Gong Huayu said so, he didn't have to refuse. He was a Dao transformation pill saint, and Gong Huayu would definitely need his help in the future. Seeing Ning Cheng walk back with Gong Huayu's ring, Yu Shizhen looked at Ning Cheng in disbelief. "Pill Master Ning, do you want to refine the 6-in Soul pill?" Not to mention Yu Shizhen, everyone, including Si Chen and Qiu Tian, couldn't believe it. Gong Huayu took out the 6-in Soul pill for Ning Cheng. Apparently, he didn't want the materials for the pill. He just wanted to make friends with Ning Cheng, but if Ning Cheng really wanted to refine the 6-in Soul pill, then it was a completely different matter. No way. He really dares to refine it? Naturally. Didn't you see him take out a pill furnace? If the second union head hadn't only given out a Tao Transformation Pill Saint qualification card, maybe he could have taken out a Primordial Tao Pill Saint qualification card. Don't talk nonsense. Watch your mouth. No matter how the people on the square talked, Ning Qing still used the no furnace. This time, he didn't use the fake primordial first furnace but chose to use the no furnace. After refining the no furnace, it had already become the size of an ordinary pill furnace. After using the no furnace, Ning Cheng looked at Yu Shizhen. Yes, I really want to refine the 6-yin soul pill. No furnace? Si Chen Chiu Tian looked at the pill furnace Ning Cheng took out in amazement. Not many people knew about Ning Cheng's pill furnace, but he happened to know it. The original name of the no furnace was not no furnace, but black and white pill furnace. It was the pill furnace used by the black-white old man for alchemy because no one could compare to him in alchemy. As long as he brought out the black-white pill furnace, no one in the world could compare to him. Therefore, people later said that when black and white appeared, there was no furnace in the world. In the end, the black-white old man simply changed his pill furnace to no furnace. After the black-white old man disappeared, this pill furnace was passed down to his disciple, Min. After Min's death, this pill furnace disappeared. No one expected that this pill furnace would fall into Ning Cheng's hands. Si Chen Chiu Tian's eyes suddenly flashed with a hint of eagerness, but this eagerness soon dissipated. All spiritual objects in the world would recognize a master. Since Ning Cheng obtained the no furnace, it meant that the no furnace had already recognized Ning Cheng. Even if he forcibly snatched it, it would no longer be the same as no furnace. What's more, he wouldn't go so far as to start a fight with a junior over a furnace. Ning Cheng had already sat within the pill platform's restrictions and raised his hand to take out hundreds of divine grasses. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness wrapped around the 6-yin fruit, 9-turn soul grass, and forget sorrow flower. At this moment, everyone's eyes in the entire pill discussion public square focused on Ning Cheng. Regardless of whether Ning Cheng could successfully refine the 6-yin soul pill or not, it was a great thing to see a pill sage refine the 6-yin soul pill. Ning Cheng didn't throw any of the divine grasses into the pill furnace. Instead, his starry sky sea of consciousness completely enveloped the divine grasses. The reason why he dared to refine the 6-yin soul pill, apart from his understanding of laws far surpassing ordinary pill sages, was that he desperately wanted to help Sun Hanrui. Previously, during the Tao sculpting pill sage assessment, he failed the first furnace. But this time, he couldn't afford to fail the primordial Tao pill refinement. Although he failed the Tao sculpting pill sage assessment, it didn't have a particularly big impact on Ning Cheng. After all, he had successfully refined the Tao sculpting spirit pill. Therefore, when he refined the falling scar pill, his speed was very fast. But not now. Not to mention that he only had one furnace's worth of materials for the 6-yin soul pill. Once he failed, he didn't know when he would be able to help Sun Hanrui. Among the Tao transformation pill sages, Ning Cheng wasn't any weaker than Lu Shizhen. Therefore, for Ning Cheng, advancing to the primordial Tao pill sage was just a step away. But this step was much more difficult for Ning Cheng compared to Lu Shizhen. Because Lu Shizhen had reached the full circle of Tao transformation realm and was already at the door of the primordial Tao realm. But Ning Cheng only had the cultivation of a Tao sculpting holy emperor, which was still a long way from reaching the primordial Tao realm. Refining the primordial Tao pill wasn't only related to one's alchemy Tao level, but also to one's comprehension of the heavenly Tao. Simply put, it was related to one's cultivation. The mysterious yellow formula started operating. At this moment, Ning Cheng had already forgotten that he was still refining pills and competing in the alchemy Tao competition. When Bi Hanyuan discussed the alchemy Tao, Ning Cheng had fallen into an epiphany about his heavenly Tao. Because this was the alchemy conference, he didn't have the opportunity to go into seclusion to consolidate his heavenly Tao comprehension. But now that he wanted to refine the 6-yin soul pill, in addition to the alchemy Dao's Dao charm, his grand Dao's Dao charm was also gradually fusing with the three kinds of nomological divine grasses. The Dao charm of heaven and earth laws around Ning Qing grew denser and denser. Although Ning Qing hadn't started yet, the resonance caused by Ning Qing had already surpassed that of Lushizhen. At this moment, in everyone's eyes, it felt as if they were in a green universe. There were countless plants and creatures in this world. These creatures and plants had experienced sorrow and joy, wind and rain, thunder and lightning, and had experienced the waxing and waning of the seasons. They began to wither, and this green world also began to become desolate. Slowly, the vitality of this world gradually dissipated, and the world also began to collapse. Finally, it turned into fragments. These fragments gathered with the countless fragments in space and then merged into one. This seemed to be demonstrating the origin of the world, and then slowly returning this process to the chaos of the universe. Whether it was the guests or the alchemy masters, everyone was immersed in Ning Cheng's Dao charm of returning. Even some second-step Dao confirming holy emperors were shocked by Ning Cheng's majestic and vigorous Dao charm aura, and they even began to slowly be affected. Unfortunately, the place where Ning Cheng refined pills was completely blocked by restrictions. They could only feel it and couldn't use their spiritual consciousness to investigate it. Otherwise, no one knew how many spiritual consciousnesses would have tried to investigate Ning Cheng's grand Dao's Dao charm. Time passed slowly, and Ning Cheng's stipulated time of 1 day had long since passed. Even 10 days had quietly passed. At this moment, no one raised any objections. Even Yan Ji, who couldn't cultivate, was immersed in Ning Cheng's Dao charm of returning. The Dao charm of returning continued to circle Ning Cheng's consciousness. My Dao, the world is the same, but the path is different. No roots, no stems, no leaves, no glory. All things are born, all things are formed, my Dao is formed. The Dao charm that sounded like the morning bell and evening drum constantly bombarded Ning Cheng's consciousness. Ning Cheng had a feeling that once his Dao charm world once again grew from its desolate rootless, leafless and lush state, his Dao would truly reach small success. The Dao of alchemy was also one of the Daos. The Daoist rhythm of the 6-yin fruit was far beyond his understanding. In the end, it was just a Dao of the rules of heaven and earth. In his great Dao of returning to one, he could always find this rule of heaven and earth. No matter how strong they would not be able to surpass his great Dao. 9 twists soul grass, melancholy flower. They were just ordinary God spirit herbs. He had already caught them in his Dao runes. Fuse the 6-yin fruit with my Dao of returning to one. The 6-yin fruit was placed into the furnace. Fuse the 9-turn soul grass with my Dao of returning to one. The 9-turn soul grass entered the furnace. Using my Dao of returning to one, fuse with the flower of forgetfulness. The carefree flower entered the furnace. With my Dao of returning to one, fuse with the 6-yin soul pill. With the rise of the Daoist charm, the birth of Dan charm. Chapter 987. As the divine grasses fell into the pill furnace, Ning Cheng's Dao charm began to gather and then slowly merged with the medicinal pills in the pill furnace. What a powerful Dao! Some cultivators, who had sobered up because of Ning Cheng's Dao charm, felt secretly shocked. When Ning Cheng condensed the primordial Dao core, what he released was just the tip of the iceberg of his Dao. Even this tip of the iceberg made many sage emperors sink into enlightenment. From this, it could be seen that Ning Cheng's Dao was definitely not a trivial matter. Yu Shizhen looked at Ning Cheng's alchemy technique and felt even more horrified. Ning Cheng really did not have a fixed pill technique. Occasionally, a few handprints similar to pill techniques would fall into the pill furnace. Yu Shizhen quickly determined that it was not a pill technique, but he did not dare to think about it because he was closer to Ning Cheng on the pill platform and could feel it more deeply. The reason why he did not dare to think about it was because he felt that Ning Cheng's handprints contained some law aura. Even Situ Chen and Chiu Tian would not dare to put the law aura of heaven and earth into the pill furnace, right? Yet, Ning Qing actually integrated the law aura into the pill furnace. Were these his own laws, or the laws of heaven and earth that he comprehended? Or was it the law aura of the 16 fruit? Yu Shizhen did not completely guess it right, but he had guessed some clues. Ning Cheng had indeed captured the faint law aura of the 16 fruit, which was far higher than his current understanding of the Tao of returning to one. With his current ability in the Tao of alchemy, he absolutely could not integrate the Tao fruit law of the 16 fruit into the 16 soul pill. Because of this, Ning Cheng began to use his Tao to capture the Tao fruit law of the 16 fruit. 10 days later, his understanding of the Tao of returning to one improved further, and he also captured the law aura of the 16 fruit in the universe of returning to one. Previously, that alchemy master wanted to pick on Ning Cheng, but at least he was right about one thing. The Tao of alchemy should be cautious and not have a speck of dust. After 10 days and 10 nights of enlightenment, Ning Cheng integrated all the divine grasses, including the 16 fruit, into the pill furnace. 10 days and 10 nights of enlightenment of the Tao, 10 days and 10 nights of law Tao aura capture. Ning Cheng thought that since he had captured the law aura of the 16 fruit in the Tao of returning to one, he should be able to integrate this law Tao fruit far beyond his current ability into the 16 soul pill. The Tao of alchemy had no should, much less possible. Success was success, failure was failure. Although Ning Cheng managed to capture the Tao fruit laws of the 16 fruit, he couldn't keep this Tao fruit laws. It wasn't that his understanding wasn't enough, it wasn't that his alchemy level wasn't high enough, it was that his strength wasn't high enough. Perhaps after refining a dozen more cauldrons of primordial Tao pills, he would be able to perfectly refine the 16 soul pill. Perhaps if his cultivation level advanced a little, he would also be able to refine the 16 soul pill. But now, he couldn't. Feeling the 16 fruits law aura gradually dissipating, Ning Cheng felt a burst of sadness in his heart. He had tried his best. In order to save Sun Hanrui, he had spent 10 days and 10 nights in an epiphany of the Grand Tao. He had even tried to find the aura of the 16 fruit within his Grand Tao of returning to one. He didn't even hesitate to let others see the tip of the iceberg of his Tao. He didn't even hesitate to lose this competition. He would still fail. This was because it was beyond his ability. He did not have the ability to refine a perfect primordial Tao pill. The pill fragrance was rolling in the furnace, and the white flame under the furnace was like the flying snow in June. The Tao charm around Ning Cheng's body became even thinner. Although he was still working hard, his heart had already turned decadent. No one could feel the changes in Ning Cheng's pill furnace, except for Si Chen Chiu Tian. Si Chen Chiu Tian gave out a long sigh in his heart. Ning Cheng was definitely the most talented alchemy genius he had ever seen. He was sure that this was Ning Cheng's first time refining a primordial Tao pill. An alchemy master refining a primordial Tao pill for the first time had almost left behind the 16 fruits law Tao charm and integrated it into the pill. With this alone, no one in the entire Grand Essence realm could compare to him. Not even he could compare. Unfortunately, if Si Chen Chiu Tian had known about this, he would have definitely taken out a few cauldrons of primordial Tao pills for Ning Cheng to practice on. The Tao of alchemy was also one of the Taos. If Ning Cheng failed this time, his Tao heart would most likely suffer a backlash. Not only would his Tao heart be affected, but even his Tao heart would most likely be affected. For alchemy masters, failure and failure are common. Alchemy Master Ning doesn't have to worry about it. Si Chen Chiu Tian finally couldn't help but send a sound transmission to Ning Cheng. If there was anyone here who could send a sound transmission into Ning Cheng's alchemy restrictions, he was the only one. He really didn't want Ning Cheng to fall because of this cauldron of medicinal pills. He really didn't want to see an alchemy genius fall. Not to mention the Tao of alchemy, Ning Cheng's Tao alone was much stronger than his Tao. Ning Cheng's heart shook, and he immediately sobered up from his own world. If it were any other medicinal pill, it wouldn't matter much. But this was the 16 soul pill. Once he advanced to the Tao Essence Pill Saint realm, wouldn't he be able to obtain the materials for the 16 soul pill? Or, even if he obtained the materials, how many years would that take? It didn't matter if he lost. He didn't need the top-grade wood origin spirit vein. But what about Sun Hanrui? Even the 16 soul pill couldn't drag it out for too long. But Sun Hanrui had dragged it out long enough. Laws. What could he use to gather his laws again and condense them into the 16 soul pill? His understanding of the laws of heaven and earth? But it was too late. He couldn't cultivate for a few years before refining this cauldron of medicinal pills. Yes, he still had half a bestowing lawless fruit. It was a Tao fruit that devoured the laws of heaven and earth but didn't have any laws. Bestowing lawless fruit didn't have any laws, but it didn't mean that it had nothing to do with laws. If it had nothing to do with laws, he wouldn't have been able to comprehend a law-breaking spirit technique through the bestowing lawless fruit. Because Ning Cheng had comprehended half a bestowing lawless fruit, he understood that this kind of fruit could not only absorb and devour the laws of heaven and earth, but it could also bind the laws. Not to mention the Tao fruit laws of a mere 16 fruit. Even 100 sets of 16 soul pills materials combined might not be as precious as the bestowing lawless fruit. After Ning Cheng thought of the bestowing lawless fruit, he didn't even think about it. He directly took out the bestowing lawless fruit and threw it into the pill furnace. No one knew what kind of divine grass Ning Cheng threw into the pill furnace. But everyone just stared at Ning Cheng in amazement. Even those who didn't understand alchemy couldn't help but feel puzzled. What did it mean to add a divine grass when all the divine grasses had fused and all the impurities had been extracted? In just a few moments, the rich aura of the laws of heaven and earth once again surrounded the pill furnace. Ning Cheng didn't even need to exert any effort to completely bind the Tao fruit laws of the 16 fruit and integrate it into the 16 soul pill. Ning Cheng even suspected that even if an ordinary Tao sculpting pill deity came here to refine the 16 soul pill, he could still succeed as long as he had this bestowing lawless fruit. Soon, Ning Cheng's mind completely immersed within the laws, and he could clearly capture the laws of heaven and earth. Then, he also captured the aura that suppressed and devoured the laws of heaven and earth. It was also a kind of law. To be precise, it was a kind of anti-law because its existence suppressed the aura of the laws of heaven and earth. This was the Tao charm of breaking laws. If Ning Cheng hadn't remembered that he was still refining the 16 soul pill, he would have fallen into a second law-breaking epiphany. Ning Cheng didn't fall into the law-breaking epiphany, but the many holy emperors watching Ning Cheng's alchemy felt shocked by the clear laws of heaven and earth. They even felt a trace of the Tao charm aura that suppressed the laws of heaven and earth. This was, unfortunately, their spiritual consciousnesses couldn't penetrate Ning Cheng's alchemy restrictions. Although they knew that this aura was extraordinary, they couldn't really comprehend it. Breaking laws was naturally extraordinary. If breaking laws were ordinary, then not many powerhouses would go to the land of broken laws to comprehend this law-breaking spirit technique. As the aura of laws within the pill furnace grew fainter and fainter, the pill charm within the pill furnace grew clearer and clearer. Another 2 days passed, and the fragrance from the pill furnace spread out. The fragrance also contained a faint trace of blood aura. Everyone stared at Ning Cheng's furnace with wide eyes. The pill fragrance of the 16 soul pill is coming out. It contains pill charm and blood aura. Is this the 16 soul pill about to form? I also felt the aura of the universe returning to one from this pill charm. Did Ning Cheng really succeed in refining the primordial Tao pill? Did he even integrate his own Tao charm? Even though Ning Cheng had used half a month to refine the pill, everyone still felt shocked by Ning Cheng. As long as one was in the Grand Essence realm, everyone knew that Situ Chen Chiu Tian was a primordial Tao pill saint. But no one had ever seen Situ Chin Chiu Tian refine a Tao pill. Moreover, he never refined pills for others. But now, Ning Cheng had refined the primordial Tao pill under everyone's noses. Moreover, it was the 6-yin soul pill. At this moment, no one cared about whether Ning Cheng won or lost. Everyone just stared at Ning Cheng. It seemed that Ning Cheng was more attractive than the furnace of 6-yin soul pill because Ning Cheng was a primordial Tao pill saint. Bursts of crisp pill sounds rang out from the pill furnace, and a rumbling sound seemed to come from above the pill discussion public square. Is this a pill tribulation? A Tao sculpting pill saint looked up at the sky above the public square in disbelief. This public square was an indoor public square. Because of the restrictions, no one could see what was happening outside. A medicinal pill at the level of the primordial Tao pill shouldn't cause a pill tribulation. What's more, even if it causes a pill tribulation and the grand essence realm's laws to shatter, it shouldn't cause a lightning strike. Then the rumbling thunder outside. Some alchemists started talking as they looked at the medicinal pill in Ning Cheng's pill furnace in disbelief. Situ Chin Chiu Tian stood up in amazement. A primordial Tao pill causing a pill art? Stop joking around. Not to mention the Grand Essence realm shattering, even if the Grand Essence realm's laws were intact, a mere 6-yin soul pill wouldn't cause a pill tribulation. Even if an eternal cultivator reached the Tao confirming realm or a Tao sculpting holy emperor, they wouldn't be able to trigger a thunder tribulation due to the shattering of the laws, let alone a small pill. The only possibility was that Ning Cheng had added a divine grass to the pill furnace. But what was that? Ning Cheng also looked up in shock. He knew that because the Grand Essence realm's laws had shattered, there wouldn't be a thunder tribulation when one reached the Tao confirming realm. How could he trigger a pill tribulation when refining a small 6-yin soul pill? That's right, it wasn't his 6-yin soul pill, but the heaven-defying bestowing lawless fruit. Boom boom boom. 6 powerful lightning arcs blasted through the public square's restrictions and fell directly towards the pill furnace. Chapter 988. There's really a pill lightning tribulation. Almost everyone on the square stood up and stared at the 6 bolts of pill lightning in shock. Although these 6 thunder tribulation arcs had nothing to do with them, everyone knew that Ning City might not be able to withstand these 6 thunder tribulation arcs. Although the 6 bolts of lightning looked simple, the heaven and earth law aura overflowing from them showed that this was definitely far stronger than Tao molding divine emperor's tribulation lightning. Only pill refiners could withstand this kind of tribulation lightning. Ning Cheng suddenly stood up. He didn't even take out any magic treasure. He just flew up and punched several times. Whether it was the cultivators who came to listen to the pill or the pill refiners, they all looked at Ning Cheng in disbelief. Was he stupid? No matter how important the pill was, he couldn't use his body to resist the lightning tribulation, right? Plus, these 6 bolts of lightning law Tao runes weren't something an ordinary Tao molding divine emperor could resist. Bang bang. While everyone was still confused, Ning Cheng had already clashed with the descending lightning bolts. The lightning tribulation containing the law aura smashed onto Ning Cheng's fist and made a popping sound. There seemed to be no flesh and blood splattering and no bones breaking. Boom! Ning Cheng landed from the sky. The sound of his feet landing on the pill stage was like a hammer hitting everyone's mind, waking them up. Apart from the sleeve on Ning Cheng's arm, he didn't even have a scratch on his skin. The lightning tribulation disappeared without a trace. This time, there were only 6 waves of pill lightning tribulation. If he blocked it, there would be no more. Was Ning Cheng really a Tao molding divine emperor? After Ning Cheng easily blew away the 6 bolts of pill lightning, no one was willing to believe that Ning Cheng was a Tao molding divine emperor. None of the Tao molding divine emperors could easily blast away the 6 pill lightning tribulations like Ning Cheng. 6 dark red fragrant pills flew out and were put into 2 jade bottles by Ning Cheng. Because Ning Cheng's pill refinement restriction had already been destroyed by the lightning tribulation, everyone could see Ning Cheng's 6 pills. That's right, 6 soul pills. Not only were they 6 soul pills, but they were also special grade 6 soul pills. They didn't even see a single top grade pill. There was no sound in the public square, no one even thought about the matter of Ning Cheng losing the match. To be able to refine 6 special grade primordial Dao pills, or even 6 soul pills, just how high was Ning Cheng's alchemy Dao level? Pairs of eager eyes fell on Ning Cheng. At this moment, everyone's thoughts were different. Ning Cheng was a more powerful primordial Dao alchemy saint compared to Situ Chen Chiu Tian. However, Ning Cheng and Situ Chen Chiu Tian were different. Ning Cheng was a rogue cultivator without any background. Ning Cheng also took in a deep breath. He was the clearest about his own situation. He was not a primordial Dao alchemy saint. At least, he could not refine primordial Dao pills yet. The reason why he could complete this furnace of 6 soul pills was not because of his high attainment in the alchemy Dao, but because of the bestowing lawless fruit. Without the bestowing lawless fruit, this batch of 6 soul pills would have already failed. In other words, if he were to refine another cauldron of 6 soul pills now, he still would not be able to refine it. If he wanted to refine the 6 soul pill, he had to go into seclusion at the very least and thoroughly understand the great Tao that he had comprehended during the pill discussion assembly. Then, he would have to integrate the great Tao of returning to one into his alchemy Tao. All of these would take time. Moreover, when that alchemy Tao thunder tribulation descended, Ning Cheng vaguely felt that this thunder tribulation wasn't the Grand Essence Realm's heavenly Tao thunder tribulation. This feeling was very mysterious, and he couldn't figure it out. Ning Cheng cupped his fists towards Yu Qingzhen, who stood on the side in shock. At the same time, he also cupped his fists towards Sage Emperor Qing Yi and spoke with a calm tone, "This junior has spoken too much. I have already failed the challenge. I lost to Pill Sage Lu." Despite losing, Ning Cheng didn't feel even the slightest bit of regret. He had successfully refined 6 soul pills, which was more than enough. A wood-attributed top-grade spirit vein might be a good thing, but it couldn't compare to a life. Perhaps in the eyes of other cultivators, using a top-grade spirit vein and even half a bestowing lawless fruit in exchange for a failure was the stupidest thing one could do. How could the life of a puny soul essence cultivator be so valuable? But Ning Cheng didn't think so. He only did what he thought he should do. Besides, if he participated in the 5 Realms pill competition with his current level of alchemy Dao, he might still be far from that top-grade spirit vein. Unless he had a lot of Dao essence and above Dao fruits to practice on. But in fact, it was impossible. Yu Qingzhen opened his mouth but didn't say a word. He knew that he was the one who really lost, not Ning Cheng. Just as Ning Cheng said he lost to take responsibility for his words. Ning Cheng couldn't refine the 6 soul pill in a day. In fact, not to mention Ning Cheng, any Dao transformation pill sage with Dao sculpting cultivation couldn't refine the 6 soul pill in a day. Ha ha ha. Gong Huayu laughed wildly and rushed up. He didn't expect that Ning Cheng would succeed in refining the pills. Moreover, he managed to refine 6 top-grade pills. It was simply a pleasant surprise. As for whether Ning Cheng won or lost the competition, he didn't care. He used a set of 6 soul pill materials to reap 3 top-grade 6 soul pills. Not only did he return Ning Cheng's favor, but he also gained the friendship of a Dao Essence pill sage. Apart from him, Gong Huayu, who else had the courage to do such a thing? How could there be such great luck? Ning Cheng put a jade bottle into the hands of Gong Huayu, and spoke in a grateful voice, "Many thanks to elder brother Gong for generously taking out the materials for the 6 soul pill. This Ning Cheng was fortunate enough to not disappoint you. These 3 pills belong to elder brother Gong." If Brother Gong needs anything in the future, just say the word. Gong Huayu grabbed the jade bottle, and curbed his smile, as he cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng and spoke, "Elder Brother Ning, I also have the same words. In the future if Elder Brother Ning has any requests, then please do not hesitate to speak." After all, this was the pill discussion public square, as such Gong Huayu did not speak much with Ning Cheng. After taking the medicinal pills, he immediately returned to the pill listening booth. What he wanted was Ning Cheng's friendship, and he obtained it. No one cared about Gong Huayu's maniacal laughter. In any case, Gong Huayu was also a friend of Ning Cheng. In the future, if they could not move Ning City, then perhaps they could ask Gong Huayu. Only when Gong Huayu left did the pill discussion plaza once again boil over. As for the huge gap above the square that was blasted by the thunder tribulation, no one cared at all. What everyone cared about was the primordial Tao pill saint, Ning Cheng. Even if it was an excited discussion, his voice was deliberately suppressed. As for Lu Shizhen, who had won the competition, she had long since been ignored. Holy Emperor Qing Yi, who stood by the side of the pill platform, did not know what to do. Should he announce Ning Cheng's victory, or should he announce Lu Shizhen's victory? According to the rules of the pill discussion conference, Ning Cheng had won this competition. But who wanted Ning Cheng to say before the competition that he would admit defeat if he could not refine a medicinal pill in a day? At this moment, apart from Gong Huayu, no one went to speak to Ning Cheng. Sire Qiu Tian's voice broke the atmosphere. "Ning Cheng, can you show me the 6-yin soul pill you refined?" Of course. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to take out a medicinal pill, put it on the jade plate, and handed it to Holy Emperor Qing Yi. From the start of the pill discussion conference until now, Sire Qiu Tian had always been fair and didn't hide anything from him. He even took the initiative to remind him when his Tao heart was damaged. Ning Cheng still respected this kind of person. Sire Qiu Tian looked at the 6-yin soul pill on the jade plate and sighed after a while. It's a perfect Tao pill. Not only does it have a rich alchemy Tao aura, but it also has a clear law aura. I can't refine this kind of Tao pill. Maybe in the entire Grand Essence realm, only Pill Sage Ning can refine it. How is this just a good pill? While Sire Qiu Tian observed the medicinal pill, everyone else observed it with their spiritual consciousness. The 6-yin soul pill refined by Ning Cheng had a clear pill charm and law aura. It even contained a trace of Ning Cheng's Grand Tao's Tao charm. Just as Sire Qiu Tian said, this pill wasn't just a good pill. Sire Qiu Tian had previously said that Lu Shizhen's Essence Pulse Crossing pill was a good pill. But now, he said that Ning Cheng's pill wasn't just a good pill. This meant that Ning Cheng's alchemy Tao level far surpassed Lu Shizhen's. This time, without waiting for Holy Emperor Qing Yi to speak, Lu Shizhen took the initiative to speak. "Pill Master Ning, I failed in this pill discussion. My alchemy Tao is far from being Pill Master Ning's opponent." Ning Cheng showed a slight smile. He really wanted to participate in the 5 Realms pill competition, but not in this way. Without waiting for Lu Shizhen to finish her words, Ning Cheng took the initiative to speak up. "Pill Master Lu, you don't have to say anything. I'm very satisfied with my loss. As for representing the Grand Essence realm in the 5 Realms pill competition, I won't go. Pill Master Ning, I think you should represent my Grand Essence realm in the 5 Realms pill competition. Maybe you will become the pride of my Grand Essence realm." Sire Qiu Tian suddenly spoke up. When Sire Qiu Tian didn't speak, no one in the pill discussion public square said anything. Now that Sire Qiu Tian said that Ning Cheng should represent the Grand Essence realm in the pill competition, Cheng Ho Tian immediately stood up and said, "When Ning Cheng took the Tao Transformation Pill Sage Assessment, I felt that he was qualified to represent my Grand Essence realm in the 5 Realms pill competition. I agree with Association Master's words. I also agree with letting Pill Sage Ning represent my Grand Essence realm in the 5 Realms pill competition." This time, Tsun Rushuan spoke up. An expert from the Silver Dragon clan sitting next to Gong Huayu also stood up to support Ning Cheng. 7-star Sacred Shrine, 9 Revolution Sacred Tao Pond, Flaming Feather Spirit Mountain, Heaven's Pole Island, Purple Mist Immortal Valley, Heaven Medicine Sect, Missing Moon Valley, Grand Essence Realm Shi Clan. All the sects and clans that came to listen to the pill discussion expressed their support for Ning Cheng to represent the Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms pill competition. In the end, even River Luo Sacred Sect and Desolate Spirit Palace agreed with Ning Cheng's participation in the 5 Realms pill competition. I also agree with Pill Sage Ning. My alchemy Dao level isn't as good as Ning. This time, Sire Qiu Tian interrupted Lu Shijian's words. Pill Sage Lu also wants to represent my Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms pill competition. This time, I will personally lead the team. I believe that with my old face, I can still get one more spot for my Grand Essence Realm. Ning Cheng won everyone's respect with his own strength. No matter how much of it was fake, Ning Cheng knew that after this pill discussion Grand Assembly, he had finally gained a foothold in the Grand Essence Realm. In the future, no matter who wanted to hunt him down, they would have to consider the consequences. At this time, if there was still a sect that remained silent, it would be the Void Star sect sitting on the pill discussion stage. Percy sat in his seat with his head down and didn't speak. The Void Star sect master, who sat next to Percy, had a gloomy and ugly expression on his face. He had just refused Ning Cheng's request to refine the sky-replenishing bone vein pill for his Void Star sect. Yet, Ning Cheng had slapped him in the face. It was because he had refined a medicinal pill that was many times more difficult to refine than the sky-replenishing bone vein pill. It was the primordial Tao pill, the 6-yin soul pill. He had just watched the entire process of Ning Cheng's alchemy. Therefore, he was sure that as long as Ning Cheng could refine the sky-replenishing bone vein pill to this standard, Ning Cheng would have a 99% chance of successfully refining the sky-replenishing bone vein pill. Chapter 989. Since Sichin Qiu Tian said so, Ning Cheng naturally wouldn't refuse. Now that he could obtain the 6-yin soul force pills and represent the Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms pill competition without snatching Lu Shijian's spot, how could Ning Cheng refuse? Many thanks, Senior Qiu Tian. Ning Cheng will do his best. Ning Cheng quickly thanked him. Sichin Qiu Tian nodded, took out a golden card, and handed it to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng, this is the qualification card for a primordial Tao pill saint. It's also the highest qualification card that my Grand Essence Realm Pill Association can give out. Since you refined 6 special grade 6-yin soul force pills, this qualification card should be given to you. Ning Cheng wanted to refuse because only he knew that he wasn't a primordial Tao pill saint yet. Rather, he was only a few furnaces away from becoming a primordial Tao pill saint. He quickly thought of the value of this qualification card. If he obtained the qualification card for a primordial Tao pill saint, in the entire Grand Essence Realm, apart from Tao perfection powerhouses, even Tao fusion powerhouses would have to think twice before making a move on him. Ning Cheng thanked him again before taking the qualification card for a primordial Tao pill saint with both hands. He couldn't refine primordial Tao pills yet, but he was already the second alchemist in the Grand Essence Realm with a primordial Tao pill saint qualification card. No one in the alchemy discussion venue objected to Ning Cheng obtaining this alchemist qualification card. Everyone had seen Ning Cheng refining the 6-yin soul force pills. Ning Cheng was not only a primordial Tao pill saint, but also a primordial Tao pill saint who could refine special grade 6-yin soul force pills. After Ning Cheng put away the primordial Tao pill saint qualification card, Holy Emperor Qing Yi stepped onto the pill platform and spoke in a clear voice, "Congratulations, Pill Sage Ning, and congratulations to my Grand Essence Realm for having another primordial Tao pill saint. This alchemy discussion has a total of 6 pill sages representing my Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms pill competition. Because there was an extra person this time, the support of each alchemist from the various sects and clans would be sent to the participating alchemists through the Elixir Association. Then, the alchemists would choose the sects and clans that would support them. This alchemy discussion ends here. Many thanks to my Grand Essence Realm's alchemists and all the Tao friends from the Grand Essence Realm for coming. Every time they participated in the 5 Realms Pill competition, some sects and clans would support some alchemists that they were optimistic about participating. This support wasn't just empty words. It was something substantial. This was what Sacred Emperor Qing Yi's final words meant. The sects and clans that he supported should take out their items. The Elixir Association will give the list of items you have brought out to the participating alchemists. As for which alchemist will choose, it will depend on how many items you have brought out. Ning Cheng, if you have time, you can always come to my immortal cave to discuss the Tao of Alchemy. When Ning Cheng walked down the pill platform, Si Chen Chiu Tian sent out an invitation to Ning Cheng. Si Chen Chiu Tian's status in the Grand Essence Realm wasn't just that of a Union Master. His status was much higher than the average sect master of a major sect. Now that Si Chen Chiu Tian personally invited Ning Cheng, and even said that Ning Cheng could go to his immortal cave at any time, it was a supreme honor. It also showed how much Si Chen Chiu Tian valued Ning Cheng. When there is time, this junior and brother Ho Tian will definitely come to Senior's immortal cave to listen to your teachings. Ning Cheng quickly responded, while pulling Cheng Ho Tian along with him. Although Ning Cheng felt grateful toward Si Chen and Chiu Tian, he did not intend to waste his time on discussing pills. He still had a lot of things to do, so why would he waste his time on talking? Si Chen Chiu Tian laughed, since you call junior apprentice brother Ho Tian as your elder brother, I naturally can't be too arrogant. You can call me brother Chiu Tian from now on. For other alchemists, Si Chen Chiu Tian's regard for them was something they couldn't even burn incense. But for Ning Cheng, it didn't seem too outrageous. After all, Ning Cheng himself was a Tao transformation pill saint. Moreover, his attainment in the Tao of alchemy seemed to be higher than Si Chen Chiu Tian's. On this side, Si Chen Chiu Tian had just walked away when many people came to greet Ning Cheng. It seemed that even speaking a word to Ning Cheng was a supreme honor. Pill Sage Ning, I just got the news that the divine grasses you wanted have arrived in Heaven Essence Sacred City. An abrupt voice interrupted the greeting between Ning Cheng and the crowd. Some people recognized the person who spoke. He had a dark face and discordant slender eyes. It was the sect master of the Void Star sect, Wu Bufeng. After Wu Bufeng spoke, the people who greeted Ning Cheng quieted down. Although everyone didn't know what kind of deal Wu Bufeng had with the Void Star sect, they could guess that Wu Bufeng had rejected Ning Cheng's request to borrow medicinal pill materials. Now, they guessed that Wu Bufeng wanted to borrow medicinal pill materials after seeing Ning Cheng's strength in the Tao of alchemy. Although many people felt that Wu Bufeng had misjudged Ning Cheng's attainment in the Tao of alchemy, they also felt that it was normal. Some people who knew Ning Cheng's temperament understood that Wu Bufeng was talking nonsense. If it weren't for Silver Dragon Clan's Gong Huayu, Ning Cheng wouldn't have obtained the Tao Essence Pill Saint qualification card and participated in the 5 Realms Pill competition. Most likely, he wouldn't have won many greetings, but a lot of ridicule. Ning Cheng looked at the dark-faced man and spoke in a calm tone, I'm afraid you've made a mistake. I never knew you, and I've never asked you for any divine grasses. If I said anything wrong, I've already apologized. The dark-faced man suddenly frowned. Ning Cheng had now become a Tao Essence Pill Saint, and his status had indeed risen. But he was the sect master of the Void Star sect. Since he said this in person, it meant that he wanted to ask Ning Cheng for alchemy. Ning Cheng not only refused, but also refused in such a tone, which made him extremely unhappy. So what if he was a Tao Essence Pill Saint? His Void Star sect could crush Ning Cheng as easily as crushing an ant. But now that he asked Ning Cheng for help, he had no choice but to endure it. He looked back at Percy, hoping that Percy would stand up and speak. Percy lowered his head and didn't even dare to raise his head. He didn't have the face to look at Ning Cheng. Asking for help in alchemy, how could there be such a method? Previously, when people needed your Void Star sect's help, your Void Star sect pretended to be dead. Now that people have passed the crisis, and your Void Star sect knows about people's abilities, you can slap yourself in the face and say that pretending to be dead wasn't true. Who would care about you? Ning Cheng didn't give Wu Buffeng a chance to speak at all and directly said to Yan Ji, Jian Sanshan and the others, "We're leaving." The Five Realms pill competition was still far away. Ning Cheng intended to pack up the things here and head to the Grand Essence ruins to look for the dim star hidden gold leaves. After that, he would find a way to return to the four grand starry skies. Ning Cheng was now an influential figure, and everyone wanted to make friends with him. Since Ning Cheng wanted to leave, they naturally stepped aside and let Ning Cheng go first. "Pill Sage Ning, please wait a moment." Another voice called out to Ning Cheng. "So it's the Star Stepping Tower's master." Ning Cheng saw a black-robed woman walking over and immediately recognized her. This woman was very strong, as such Ning Cheng did not want to have any interaction with her, nor did he want to offend her. The black-robed woman nodded to Ning Cheng, "Congratulations to Pill Sage Ning for obtaining the qualifications to become a primordial Dao Pill Sage. You will represent the Grand Essence realm in the Five Realms pill competition. Many thanks." After Ning Cheng spoke those two words, he did not continue. His meaning was very clear. "If you don't have anything else, then I'll leave." The Star Stepping Tower's master didn't seem to care about Ning Cheng's intentions and continued, "I wonder if Pill Sage Ning has the time to come to my Star Stepping Tower. Last time, I accepted a bottle of Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation pills from you, but I didn't do much, so I feel somewhat apologetic." Ning Cheng sneered in his heart, "Do you feel sorry for me? Don't laugh my teeth off. Even if I gave you 100 bottles of Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation pills, you wouldn't feel bad about it. Many thanks for the invitation, Star Stepping Tower's master. But I have too many things to take care of, so I'm afraid I won't have the time for the time being. Since Association Master Chiu Tian invited me, I don't have the time to visit for the time being." Ning Cheng spoke with a respectful tone. Although Ning Cheng's tone was respectful, his words didn't have the slightest hint of respect. "That is, I didn't even go to see Chen's Chiu Tian's invitation. Since you invited me, I naturally wouldn't go." Everyone here understood that they weren't on the same path. The Star Stepping Tower's master frowned slightly and suddenly spoke up, "I just want to discuss the diploma with you. When I was a child, my family was poor, so I didn't have any high education." Ning Cheng's heart thumped, and he instantly understood. Even if this Star Stepping Tower's master didn't come from Earth, he most likely had some relationship with Earth. Ning Cheng immediately thought of some of the clauses he had seen in the Star Stepping Tower and felt even more certain about it. If this black-robed woman was a kind-hearted person, Ning Cheng might have felt excited at this moment and immediately went up to meet her. A fellow villager meeting a fellow villager, with tears in his eyes. However, Ning Cheng knew that this black-robed woman was a thick-skinned person who would never care about other people's lives. As such, he would never dare to recognize such a fellow villager. In other words, if he recognized such a fellow villager, it would definitely be akin to stabbing a gun in the back. "Senior, what is a high education? What does it have to do with a diploma?" Ning Cheng looked at the Star Stepping Tower's master in a daze and asked. The Star Stepping Tower's master stared at Ning Cheng closely, but Ning Cheng's eyes were pure and without any emotions. "Then let me ask you, what did you mean when you said that we could compete based on our diplomas?" Ning Cheng's eyes flashed with nostalgia as he spoke, "It's about a friend I once met. He taught me a lot of things. Because he often mentioned the word diploma, I asked him if it was a diploma. He said that a diploma is a qualification, elementary school is a low-level qualification, a doctorate is a top-level qualification, and there are many other things in between. That's why I said that the Pill Association's qualification card is a diploma. Is there anything wrong with that? What's his name? The Star-Stepping Tower's master clenched her fists. She couldn't tell if Ning Cheng was telling the truth or lying. But no matter what Ning Cheng said, she didn't dare to do anything to Ning Cheng right now. His name is Zhang Wei, a very powerful holy emperor. I estimate that he has long since surpassed the primordial chaos realm. But because he was besieged, he ended up in a low-level interface and met me. Ning Cheng's words were all true, but at the same time, they were all false. That's because Zhang Wei didn't know anything about a diploma. After saying this, Ning Cheng secretly thought to himself, "Senior apprentice brother Zhang Wei, you can't blame me. This woman is too powerful, and I can't handle her. If you meet her in the future, you can deal with her yourself." The Star-Stepping Tower's master didn't ask again. Instead, she stared at Ning Cheng for a while before speaking with a smile, "Pill Sage Ning, come to my Star-Stepping Tower when you have time. I'll be waiting for you." Looking at the Star-Stepping Tower's master's disappearing back, Ning Cheng finally felt relieved. Go to the Star-Stepping Tower. Wait until he reached the second step of Tao confirming realm. Even if you don't ask me, I will ask you. As for now, forget it. Tianhe, go talk to that Ning Cheng. Also, on behalf of my 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond, invite him. A woman with a few wrinkles on her face looked at Ning Cheng walking out of the pill discussion public square. Yes, Uncle Master. Shi Tianhe quickly responded. After that, she started walking towards Ning Cheng. Master, wait a minute. Shi Shuang stopped Shi Tianhe, who was about to greet Ning Cheng. Shi Tianhe asked in confusion, "What's wrong?" The woman next to Ning Cheng is our 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond's Yan Ji. Shi Shuang spoke with some shock and disbelief. Yan Ji. Shi Tianhe naturally wouldn't remember a nobody like Yan Ji. Therefore, when Shi Shuang mentioned it, she couldn't remember it for a while. Shi Shuang quickly reminded her, she's the Yan Ji who wanted to marry her spirit. Later, when she was washing her spirit. Before Shi Shuang could finish, Shi Tianhe fully understood it and spoke with a stern look in her eyes. Wasn't she rescued by that demonic woman along with Shui Yueka? How could she be with Ning Cheng? Chapter 990. That woman called Yan Ji, her foundation has not been restored. Tianhe, go and ask a few questions. Don't invite Ning Cheng to the 9 revolving sacred Tao Pond for the time being. He wanted to inquire about how Yan Ji came to be by Ning Cheng's side. If this person is really related to the demon woman who killed my 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond's holy emperor, my 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond will never let him off. However, we absolutely cannot touch him now. He is just a rogue cultivator. We are not afraid of him jumping into the sky. The woman with wrinkles on her face from the 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond sent a sound transmission to Shi Tianhe. Shi Tianhe nodded and understood what her uncle master meant. Congratulations to Pill Sage Ning for obtaining the primordial Tao Pill Sage qualification card and representing the Grand Essence realm in the 5 realms pill competition. Shi Tianhe came to Ning Cheng with Shi Shuang and congratulated Ning Cheng with a smile. Even if Ning Cheng didn't like Shi Tianhe was still the deputy sect master of the 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond. Moreover, her cultivation far surpassed his. Now that Shi Tianhe personally came over, Ning Cheng could only return the greeting with cupped fists. Many thanks, Headmaster Shi. He also had one more thing on his mind, and that was to find that woman who looked very similar to Shi Qianghua. Ning Cheng also knew that with his current ability, he could not even think about it. Even if the 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond invited him, he wouldn't go casually. This sect had one thing in the open and another in the dark. Who knew if they would imprison him and use him to concoct pills for the 9 revolutions sacred Tao Pond? Oh, junior apprentice sister Yan Ji. Why are you here, and together with Pil Sage Ning? Shi Shuang looked at Yan Ji in surprise. It seemed that she had only just discovered Yan Ji's existence. Ning Qing sneered in his heart, you keep pretending. There was no need to ask, Shi Tianhe and the others had already seen Yan Ji, and had come over to inquire about the news. He would never admit to such a thing. If he did, even if he was a primordial Dao alchemy saint, it would be difficult for him to get through it. Ning Qing was even more surprised as he asked, you know Yan Ji? Shi Shuang quickly nodded, that's right. Junior apprentice sister Yan Ji was originally an outer sect disciple of my 9 revolving sacred Dao pond. I wonder why Pil Sage Ning is with junior apprentice sister Yan Ji. Ning Qing showed a look of sudden understanding, so that's how it is. Yan Ji was originally with Shui Yueka. However, she seemed to be unconscious. When I saw Yan Ji's delicate and pretty face, I liked her in my heart. Shui Yu was a good person, plus she had something urgent to take care of, so she handed Yan Ji over to me. Fortunately, Pil Sage Jing Han exchanged some Dao fruits with me, which allowed me to obtain 2 5 elements heavenly fruits and wake Yan Ji up. Saying that, Ning Qing also took Yan Ji's hand, his eyes filled with joy. His meaning was clear. I care a lot about Yan Ji, but your 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond doesn't want her anymore. If they wanted him, then they would shed all pretense of cordiality. One could say that most of Ning Cheng's words were true. He and Shui Yueka knew each other, this was something that everyone knew. From Yan Ji's mouth, it was Ruo Shi who rescued the 3 of them. You used the 5 elemental heavenly fruit just to wake her up. In the eyes of Shi Shuang, Yan Ji was just a little outer sect disciple, other than her somewhat beautiful appearance, she simply had no other merits. Ning Qing had actually used a 5 elements heavenly fruit to wake her up, however, it was not even a complete recovery. Just because he fancied Yan Ji's appearance, this kind of luxury is simply, no cultivator would be so extravagant to save a woman. Because of this, Shi Shuang couldn't believe it. Ning Cheng's face sank, and he spoke with an unhappy tone, oh, does Fairy Shuang think that I did something wrong? That's not what I meant. Shi Shuang quickly explained. Ning Cheng was no longer the ant that she didn't put in her eyes before. After listening to Ning Cheng's explanation, Shi Tianhe breathed out a sigh of relief. As long as Ning Cheng didn't have anything to do with that demonic woman, she, the 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond, could use Ning Cheng. Pil Sage Ning, please don't blame me. Yishuang just felt that the 5 elements heavenly fruit was a bit precious, so she didn't think it through. Shi Tianhe explained. Yan Ji has unparalleled beauty, and it's also a good fortune for her to follow Pil Sage Ning. After speaking, Shi Tianhe turned to Yan Ji and spoke with a gentle tone, Yan Ji, you are also a disciple of my 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond. It's your luck that Pil Sage Ning took a fancy to you. From now on, when you follow Pil Sage Ning, you have to do your part. Yan Ji quickly bowed. Shi Tianhe was right. In any case, she was indeed a disciple of the 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond. Shi Tianhe spoke to Yan Ji in a reprimanding tone, which made Ning Qing feel very uncomfortable. But he couldn't say anything about it. He just smiled and said, I'm just a person who has this hobby. Whenever I see a beautiful woman, my heart itches. Last time, I saw a woman from the 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond in the Grand Essence mystic realm. Since then, I've been thinking about her. Shi Tianhe felt overjoyed when she heard Ning Cheng's words. She was afraid that Ning Cheng wouldn't take a fancy to a female disciple of my 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond. But as long as he took a fancy to her, things would be much easier. Although Yan Ji was a disciple of the 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond, she definitely didn't have a sense of belonging. After all, the 9 revolutions sacred Dao pond wanted to carry out a spiritual union with her. It would be strange if she still had a sense of belonging. Yishuang, who did Pill Sage Ning take a fancy to? Shi Tianhe couldn't wait to call Ning Cheng to the 9 Revolutions sacred Dao Pond. Shi Yishuang quickly sent a sound transmission to Shi Tianhe. She's a sacred woman who has reincarnated 9 times. Shi Yishuang didn't need Shi Yishuang to continue. Shi Tianhe already knew that this matter was impossible. Even if Ning Cheng took a fancy to Shi Yishuang, she might even agree to this matter. Even if Ning Cheng was a primordial chaos pill sage, he couldn't take away a sacred woman who had reincarnated 9 times from the 9 Revolutions sacred Dao Pond. This junior will take his leave. Ning Cheng didn't get the answer he wanted. He simply said a few words and quickly left with Yan Ji and the others. The few people from the sunken fish palace were not far from Ning Cheng. Therefore, they heard the conversation between Ning Cheng, Shi Tianhe, and Shi Yishuang. Aunt Xian, this Ning Cheng has the ability, but he's too. The woman named Yueshu next to Cin Rushuan shook her head. Cin Rushuan looked at Ning Cheng's disappearing back and pondered for a moment before saying, Yueshu, maybe your method will work. If you want to, you can go and test him. If my sunken fish palace has a primordial Dao pill sage to help, then. Cin Rushuan didn't continue, but the 2 disciples next to her understood what she meant. Yueshu nodded, Aunt Xian, that's what I plan to do. You can rest assured that I'm more confident now. She hadn't seen the other woman from the 9 Revolutions sacred Dao Pond that Ning Cheng had taken a fancy to. She had seen Yan Ji, but she wasn't as good as her. If he wants your primordial yin, you can also give it to him. Seeing Yueshu nod, Cin Rushuan suddenly added another sentence. Yueshu's expression changed, but she immediately said, I can't do that. Aunt Xian, you can rest assured that even if I don't give anything, he will obediently work for my sunken fish palace. Zhongming Yuxiu, who hadn't spoken until now, suddenly interjected, Senior Apprentice Sister Yueshu, I'm afraid you don't know him well enough. Junior Apprentice Sister Ji, the reason why I said that to Shi Tianhe was because I suspected that Qianghua was in the 9 Revolutions sacred Dao Pond. After returning to the rest stop, Ning Cheng explained to Yan Ji. Yan Ji already knew that Shi Qianghua and Ji Luofei were Ning Cheng's Dao companions. Now that Ning Cheng explained it, she smiled and said, Big brother, you can go save Junior Apprentice Sister Hanrui. What she meant was that Ning Cheng didn't need to explain these things to her. If Ning Cheng needed to explain these things to her, she wouldn't have risked her life to find Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng nodded and directly entered the true spirit world. Sun Hanrui, under the protection of Ning Cheng's array formation, looked as if she had fallen asleep except for her pale face. Ning Cheng took out a 6-yin soul pill and put it into Sun Hanrui's mouth. The moment the 6-yin soul pill entered Sun Hanrui's mouth, it directly transformed into a Dao Core's aura and seeped into Sun Hanrui's body. An hour passed by, but Sun Hanrui showed no signs of recovering. Ning Cheng knew that this matter couldn't be rushed. The 6-yin soul pill could regenerate a person's soul, but sometimes it would take several years. Moreover, taking the 6-yin soul pill at the place of death would have a much better effect. It could even gather the scattered soul, without the need for a soul to regenerate. When there was a chance, Ning Cheng decided to take Sun Hanrui to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect in the Graceful Star mainland and leave Sun Hanrui in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. When Ning Cheng came out of the true spirit world, Jian Sanshan was waiting for him outside. He knew that Ning Cheng wanted to leave the Heaven Essence sacred city, so he specially came over. Brother Jian, I have an urgent matter to take Yan Ji to the Grand Essence ruins. Xin Xiu and Wu Qihong will follow behind you to learn the Tao of alchemy. I will return to the Heaven Essence sacred city before participating in the 5 Realms pill competition. Although Ning Cheng had already discussed this matter with Sword 3 Mountain, but now that he was about to leave, he still cautiously asked once again. In fact, with his current status, even if he didn't follow Jian Sanshan, Xin Xiu and Wu Qihong's status would make everyone want to curry favor with them. No one would dare to find trouble with them, unless they didn't want to live. Not waiting for Jian Sanshan to speak, Xian Xiu, who stood on the side, spoke up, "Big brother Ning, senior apprentice brother Jian told me and junior apprentice brother Qihong that we should follow behind him to learn the Tao of alchemy. Moreover, senior apprentice brother Jian also helped us find a pill house in the Heaven Essence Sacred City." Jian Sanshan smiled, "Brother Ning, I set up a pill house in the Heaven Essence Sacred City in your name. From now on, I will also make a living in the pill house." "Many thanks, brother Jian." Ning Qing quickly stood up and thanked him. He naturally understood the meaning behind Jian Sanshan's words. Opening a pill house in his name was for the sake of fame and for the sake of Xian Xiu and Wu Qihong. As for making a living in the Tao of alchemy, it was all for the sake of helping them. After all, Xian Xiu and Wu Qihong's Tao of alchemy was still too low. If the two of them wanted to open a pill house, they needed at least one of them to be a Tao sculpting pill sage. Ning Qing immediately thought of the large number of Tao pills he refined using Tao fruits when he went into seclusion. If he put these Tao pills in the pill house, the business of the pill house would definitely skyrocket. But Ning Qing quickly dispelled this idea. Tao pills were too precious. If he dared to do this, it would only increase the danger for Jian Sanshan and the others. Thinking of this, Ning Qing just took out some spirit pills below the Tao-raising realm and gave them to Xian Xiu. After giving some instructions, he left the Heaven Essence Sacred City with Yan Ji, Jian Sanshan, and the others. Chapter 991. Ning Qing left the Heaven Essence Sacred City, except for a few people from Sword Three Mountains. He didn't tell anyone about it. He knew that the Void Star sect would never give up. Therefore, to avoid being stopped by the Void Star sect, he decided to sneak out of the Heaven Essence Sacred City. He didn't even take the teleportation array. In fact, Ning Cheng's guess was right. Not long after he left, the Void Star sect's black-faced sect master found the rest stop he was staying in. Not only the Void Star sect, but the other sects also came to pay a visit. No one expected that Ning Qing would suddenly leave. After all, Ning Qing still had to wait for the Pill Association to show Ning Qing the list of things given by the sects that supported him. Who would have thought that Ning Qing wouldn't even wait for such benefits and would sneak out of Heaven Essence Sacred City? "Seniors, my senior apprentice brother has already left Heaven Essence Sacred City. As for where he went, I don't know." Xian Xiu stood at the door of Ning Cheng's room in the rest stop and explained to the group of cultivators who came to visit Ning Cheng. "Tell him that the Void Star sect master Wu Bufeng has come to visit." Wu Bufeng's face was already dark to begin with, but after hearing Xian Xiu's words, his face turned even darker, as though black water was about to drip out of it. When the others heard that Ning Cheng wasn't in the Heaven Essence Sacred City, they immediately left after exchanging a few polite words. But even if he did not seal it, he still had to ask Ning Cheng to help him refine the heaven-replenishing bone pattern pill. Beside Wu Bufeng were Percy and the skeleton-like Kong Zhu. Xian Xiu frowned slightly and spoke again, "Senior Wu, my senior apprentice brother isn't in Heaven Essence Sacred City. Moreover, junior martial brother and I are about to leave and find a rest stop. If senior does not believe me, then please go in and take a look for yourself." After saying that, Xian Xiu opened the restriction on the door and stepped aside. Wu Bufeng snorted. He really wanted to go in and have a look. However, he also knew that if he really dared to go in and check it out, then regardless of whether Ning Cheng was there or not, there would not be any leeway between him and Ning Cheng. When Ning Cheng left the Pill Discussion Public Square, he had carefully inquired about Ning Cheng's past. Ning Cheng was definitely not a person who could be threatened. "Bufeng, let's go. I've lived for so many years, living for another few hundred years shouldn't be a problem," Kong Zhu, who was standing at the side, suddenly said. He did not know what kind of person Ning Cheng was, but from the information he had obtained, he was sure that Ning Cheng would not eat hard. If Ning Cheng could be threatened, he would have already compromised with Man Huishan. Wu Buffon clenched his teeth. He knew what Ancestor Kong meant. That is to wait for a period of time, and once they have a good relationship with Ning Cheng, they would then ask Ning Cheng to refine pills for them. He regretted not helping Ning Cheng during the time when Ning Cheng was testing out the pills. As a result, the little silver dragon from the Grand Essence Sea ended up benefiting from it. Let's go. Wu Buffon swallowed his depression and didn't dare to enter the room to search for Ning Cheng. When I heard junior sister Rushue say that you had fallen, I made up my mind to kill Lifeless Poison Hand and Heartless Monk to avenge you. The heavens have taken pity on me. I'm still alive and with you. In the Grand Essence Ruins Quest Hall, Yan Ji stood beside Ning Cheng and spoke with a trembling voice. If it were not for her wanting to join the sect, and working hard to improve her cultivation to take revenge for Ning Cheng, how could she have met Ning Cheng again? At this time, the Heartless Monk's wanted mission had long since been removed, but she was already standing next to Ning Cheng. Junior Apprentice Sister Ji. Ning Cheng tightly grasped Yan Ji's hand. Because of what Yan Ji had experienced, even if it was more dangerous, he would help Yan Ji find the hidden beautiful star gold leaf. Hee, it's just the funniest joke I've ever heard. Someone in the Grand Essence Ruins Quest Hall said that he wanted to kill Heartless Monk and Lifeless Poison Hand. A gloomy voice rang out. Even though it was daytime, the entire mission hall still felt a little gloomy and cold. When the surrounding cultivators heard this voice, they couldn't help but step aside. Ning Cheng and Yan Ji immediately saw a Taoist holding a fly whisk in his hand. At this moment this Taoist was sizing up Ning Cheng and Yan Ji from top to bottom. When Yan Ji saw the fly whisk in the hands of the Taoist, she subconsciously took a step back. The horsetail whisk in other people's hands was refined from the hair of demon beasts, but the horsetail whisk in this Taoist's hand seemed to be made from a combination of intestines. When other Taoists held the fly whisk, they had an air of immortality around them, but he only had an air of evil. Who are you? Ning Cheng held Yan Ji's hand and asked in a cold voice. Yan Ji's foundation had been completely destroyed, and she had even lost all of her cultivation. This Taoist's imposing aura immediately affected Yan Ji. You don't know me? The Taoist looked at Ning Cheng in doubt. He even thought that Ning Cheng was joking. In the distance, some cultivators who didn't know Ning Cheng shook their heads secretly. Ning Cheng was a dead man. Among the Grand Essence Ruins Four Nothings, apart from the faceless woman, only this gutless man dared to contradict the gutless man. Moreover, this person had a disgusting habit of killing beautiful women and refining them into horsetail whisks. Who the hell are you? Why should I know you? Are you a Tao Essence expert or a Tao Perfection expert? Ning Cheng asked sarcastically. This Taoist was just an early-stage Tao birth cultivator. In Ning Cheng's eyes, this Taoist was nothing. Yet, he dared to act so arrogantly. One had to know that the people he made friends with in Heaven Essence Sacred City were either Tao Essence or Primordial Chaos. Tao birth? Hee, just stand aside. Yan Ji suddenly remembered who this Taoist was and quickly whispered in Ning Cheng's ear, this person is called Xian Wushang. He also has a nickname called Gutless Man. Together with Lifeless Poison Hand, Heartless Monk and Faceless Woman, they are known as the Grand Essence Ruins Four Nothings. Ning Cheng had heard of the Four Nothings of the Grand Essence Ruins, including Lifeless Poison Hand and Heartless Monk. Man Huishan killed Lifeless Poison Hand, and Heartless Monk escaped to the Grand Essence Ruins. But now that Man Huishan found Ning Cheng, the Heartless Monk's bounty had also been removed. He never expected to see Gutless Man in this place. Did this Gutless Man have a good relationship with Heartless Monk and Lifeless Poison Hand? Hee, sister is right. My horsetail whisk is made from the intestines of top-quality beauties and countless precious materials. Lifeless Poison Hand gave me his sister's intestines, so he is also my relative. If you want to kill Lifeless Poison Hand, then I will have to help him a little. Although your cultivation isn't good, you can barely add a strand of intestine to my horsetail whisk. After Gutless Man finished speaking, his oppressive aura blasted towards Ning Cheng and Yen Ji. Lifeless Poison Hand had already died a long time ago. He only said those words to find an excuse. Even he didn't dare to make a move in the Grand Essence Ruins quest hall. He wanted to use his own aura to force Ning Cheng and Yen Ji to flee, and then chase after them to kill them. When Ning Cheng heard Gutless Man's last words, he had already brought out his long spear. Gutless Man wanted to force Ning Cheng and Yen Ji to leave the Grand Essence Ruins before making a move. But the moment Ning Cheng heard Gutless Man say that he wanted to kill Yen Ji to refine his horsetail whisk, his long spear swept towards Gutless Man. Gutless Man's imposing aura, stimulated by Ning Cheng's killing intent, suddenly scattered in all directions. It even blew apart the surrounding quest array formation screen. A burst of suffocating aura suppressed him, and Gutless Man felt the entire starry sky of the universe changing. His vitality converged as if he wanted to return to the wilderness. Was this the aura of the Grand Tao? Before Gutless Man could react, Ning Cheng's long spear directly ignored space and arrived in front of him. Gutless Man no longer dared to treat Ning Cheng as an ant. The horsetail whisk in his hand transformed into a net of shadows. Looking from afar, it looked like endless intestines crisscrossing through space. Boom! The spirit essence in the space surged, causing the surroundings to explode. The entire quest hall of the Grand Essence Ruins public square trembled. Stop! With just one exchange, Gutless Man understood that he wasn't Ning Cheng's opponent. Tao Nourishment Holy Emperors were considered powerhouses in the Grand Essence Ruins. Since when did someone more powerful than him appear? Ning Cheng acted as if he didn't hear anything. The endless intestines that his long spear blasted apart made him feel sick. His long spear paused in the torn space, and then a setting sun appeared at the tip of the spear. There was no time between heaven and earth, only the setting sun. The time between heaven and earth disappeared at this moment, leaving only the setting sun at dusk. This was the sublimation of Ning Cheng's Sunset's Twilight. After bringing out Sunset's Twilight, time no longer existed between heaven and earth, only the dusk of life. Time came to a standstill, and Gutless Man stared at the setting sun with wide eyes. He didn't know what to do next. A tingling pain came from between his eyebrows, and the dusk in front of him disappeared. The time between heaven and earth began to flow again, and he screamed in horror, "No!" Poof! Blood burst out, and Ning Cheng's long spear blasted apart Gutless Man's head, splashing a red light. Gutless Man's hideous essence spirit overflowed, and just as he was about to escape from the hall, Ning Cheng's flames swept over. With another tearing scream, Gutless Man's spirit soul extinguished. In just a few breaths, Ning Cheng killed Gutless Man, who had recently reached the Tao Nourishment realm. Stop! Who dares to start a fight in my Grand Essence Ruins quest hall? Ning Cheng had just killed Gutless Man when a powerful aura rushed towards Ning Cheng. Then, a shadow fell in front of Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng's long spear swept away the suppressive aura. He then pulled Yen Ji to look at the person who fell in front of him. It was a man wearing the robes of the Grand Essence Ruins quest hall, with a Tao transformation cultivation. You dare to kill people in the quest hall? After the man landed, he stared at Ning Cheng and spoke with strong killing intent. It wasn't until this moment that the rest of the people in the quest hall reacted. The arrogant Gutless Man died. Moreover, he died in the Grand Essence Ruins quest hall. This was the most shocking news in the entire Grand Essence Ruins. Come with me. Don't make me do it. The man's domain stretched out and instantly sealed Ning Cheng's path and the surrounding space. Ning Cheng said with a faint voice, "Are you sure you want me to go with you?" The man snorted and was about to bring out his weapon when he suddenly heard the surrounding cultivators talking. I recognize him. That person is Ning Cheng. The one wanted by Barbarian Dragon Holy Emperor. What? It's him. He dared to come to the Grand Essence ruins. He even dared to kill people here. That can't be right. I heard that Ning Cheng is just an eternal starry sky emperor. How could he kill gutless man so easily? The Tao Transformation Holy Emperor, who was about to start, heard the surrounding discussions and his expression changed slightly. He then asked with a puzzled tone, "Are you Pil Sage Ning?" "Yes, I'm Ning Cheng." Ning Cheng nodded and pointed to gutless man's ring on the ground. "This ring will be compensation for the loss of your Grand Essence Ruins quest hall." Chapter 992. Ha! A hearty laugh came. "Pil Sage Ning, you actually came to my Grand Essence Ruins. Sorry for not welcoming you." When the laughter came, it was still in the distance. But when the word "sorry for not welcoming you" came out, a man in blue robes appeared in front of Ning Cheng. The man in blue robes cupped his fists. "Grand Essence Ruins Gong Yangdi greets Pil Sage Ning. Senior Gong is the deacon of the Grand Essence Ruins quest hall." Fearing that Ning Cheng didn't know Gong Yangdi, Yan Ji quickly whispered. The Grand Essence Ruins quest hall was jointly established by the major sects of the Grand Essence domain. Since Gong Yangdi was the deacon here, he obviously knew that Ning Cheng was a Tao Essence Pil Sage. In terms of cultivation, Gong Yangdi's cultivation was much higher than Ning Cheng's. He was a Tao Essence powerhouse. However, everyone knew that a Tao Essence Pil Sage had a much higher status than a Tao Essence Holy Emperor in the Grand Essence realm. Ning Cheng quickly cupped his fists. "Ning Cheng greets Senior Gong. Previously, that gutless intestine disrespected my junior apprentice sister, and I killed him in a fit of anger. I feel sorry for his actions, and I'm willing to compensate for your losses." Ning Cheng's view was different from others. Even if you were a Tao Essence Pil Sage, without cultivation, you would only be a slag in front of a Tao Essence Holy Emperor. A Tao Essence Holy Emperor would give you face in a public place. Once there was no one around, who would recognize you as a Tao Essence Pil Sage. As long as you were strong enough, even if you didn't know alchemy, you wouldn't feel fear. This truth, Ning Cheng was naturally clear about it. Gong Yangdi laughed again. "Gutless intestine was a scum. Pil Sage Ning killed him and did a good deed for the Grand Essence Ruins. Since Pil Sage Ning thinks highly of this Gong, you don't have to call me senior. It's this Gong's fortune to be friends with Pil Sage Ning." Ning Cheng understood what Gong Yangdi was thinking. After all, he was a Tao Essence Pil Sage, so it was normal for Gong Yangdi to want to make friends with him. "Then I'll just call you Brother Gong. Brother Gong can also call me by my name." Since Gong Yangdi wanted to make friends with Ning Cheng naturally wouldn't refuse. One more friend, one more path. Not to mention that Gong Yangdi was a Tao Essence Holy Emperor with great power. In the Grand Essence Ruins public square, he was practically a local emperor. Maybe in the future he would need Gong Yangdi's help. Gong Yangdi, who had obtained the friendship of a primordial Tao alchemy sage, felt even more comfortable in his heart. "Brother Ning, if you don't mind, why don't you come to my immortal cave and have a taste of my newly obtained divine tea?" Ning Cheng cupped his fists and spoke. "Elder Brother Gong, I still have some urgent matters to attend to, so I will have to leave first. I can only disturb you next time." After saying that, Ning Cheng seemed to have thought of something and asked, "Brother Gong, I want to inquire about the Grand Essence Ruins Burial Shadow Blue Sand. Does Brother Gong have a map of this place?" Burial Shadow Blue Sands. Gong Yangdi looked at Ning Cheng in doubt. This place was a land of death. The Tao Actualization Man suddenly pointed at the gutless man on the ground and said, "Pil Sage Ning, Gutless Man and Heartless Monk were once chased by a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. Later, the two of them escaped to the Grand Essence Ruins Burial Shadow Blue Sand and killed that Tao Transformation expert in the Burial Shadow Blue Sand." Ning Cheng looked down at the gutless man, whose head had exploded. He couldn't help but wonder how this fellow was so powerful. Yet, he easily killed him in the quest hall. Then, Ning Qing thought of something. He raised his hand and grabbed the gutless man's ring. Sweeping his spiritual consciousness inside, he quickly grabbed a dozen map jade strips from the gutless man's ring. Ning Qing grabbed the map jade strips and scanned them with his spiritual consciousness. In just a moment, he found the map jade strip of the burial shadow blue sand. He felt overjoyed. This really was effortless. Did this fellow come here to deliver the map? However, Ning Qing quickly saw that this map was just a corner of the map. It might not be of much use to him at all, but it was better than nothing. In the gutless man's ring, apart from the map jade strips, there were also a bunch of women's products. From this, one could tell how many female cultivators this gutless man had killed. Ning Qing put away the jade strip containing the map and handed the ring to Gong Yangdi before speaking, "Brother Gong, this ring is my compensation." There was also a pile of spirit crystals in the ring, which should be enough for the compensation. After all, this place was a public place. Even if Gong Yangdi wanted to befriend Ning Qing, he had to show some sincerity for fighting and destroying things here. Gong Yangdi understood Ning Qing's meaning. Moreover, he also guessed that Ning Qing had found something he needed in Gong Yangdi's ring. Therefore, he simply took the ring and said, "Okay, then we'll talk after you come back." Seeing Ning Qing kill the gutless man in the quest hall and leave the Grand Essence Ruins quest hall without anything happening to him, even receiving an invitation from Gong Yangdi, the cultivators in the quest hall immediately started talking about it. What kind of background did Ning Qing have? How could he turn around so magnificently? In the depths of the Grand Essence Ruins, Ning Qing put away the starry sky wheel and let Yan Ji enter the true spirit world. Even if Yan Ji still had her cultivation, she wouldn't be of much help in this place. The burial shadow blue sand was one of the 5 forbidden areas of the Grand Essence Ruins. No matter how high one's cultivation was, the possibility of leaving after coming in was very small. Out of 100 people who entered, no more than 10 would leave. Moreover, most of the people who left did so because of luck. Therefore, for the gutless man and the heartless monk to enter the burial shadow blue sand and successfully kill their opponents before coming out, it was definitely a stroke of luck. Ning Qing stood outside the burial shadow blue sand. He hadn't even entered when he saw a blue color. Looking from afar, it looked like a sea of rolling waves. Not only did it look beautiful, but it also gave off a majestic aura. Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness could only touch the outside of these rolling sand shadows and couldn't penetrate it at all. This reminded Ning Qing of the Grand Essence Mystic Realm's Lost Stone Forest. His spiritual consciousness had also been wrapped up in it and couldn't stretch out. The burial shadow blue sand map of the gutless man was just a corner of the burial shadow blue sand. This map could only be used by luck. At least for now, it had no use to Ning Qing. Just when Ning Qing was about to enter the burial shadow blue sand, a white figure landed not far from Ning Qing. Ning Qing's gaze swept over and saw a woman in a white dress. The white dress perfectly outlined her curvaceous body. Her breasts protruded all the way to her waist, forming a perfect curve. This curve extended backward again, forming another perfect curve. Finally, it landed on the pair of calves that were half covered by the skirt. A mature and seductive woman's aura made Ning Qing's lower abdomen slightly warm. Ning Qing was startled. He was a Tao sculpting holy emperor, so how could he be tempted by a woman? Taking a deep breath, Ning Qing found that this woman had a white filial flower on her head. From this, he could tell that this woman had just lost a man. This woman definitely didn't look stunning, but she could still attract people. From the looks of it, she must have cultivated a kind of charm technique. Otherwise, with his willpower, he wouldn't have been tempted in such a situation. Ning Qing retracted his gaze and didn't look at this woman again. He knew that this woman didn't mean to tempt him just now. Seeing Ning Qing staring at her, the woman frowned slightly. She didn't stay in the same place and instantly rushed into the burial shadow blue sand and quickly disappeared. Ning Cheng also didn't stay outside and slowly walked into the burial shadow blue sand. He came to the burial shadow blue sand to look for the dim star gold hidden leaf. As long as he found this leaf, he would immediately retreat. Even if there were many good things in the burial shadow blue sand, he wouldn't stay here. As soon as he entered the burial shadow blue sand, Ning Cheng was immediately wrapped up by the endless blue sand. The blue sand had a powerful whirlpool that almost swept Ning Cheng away. At this moment, Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness felt bound. Only when he brought out a spiritual consciousness blade or a spiritual consciousness storm could his spiritual consciousness stretch out dozens of meters. This consumed too much of his spiritual consciousness. Ning Cheng didn't want to consume too much energy after just entering the burial shadow blue sand. He directly brought out the everlasting blue thunder city. Ning Cheng had almost completely refined the everlasting blue thunder city. Apart from not having an artifact spirit, it didn't look much different from a normal thunder light city. After bringing out the everlasting blue thunder city, the blue thunder city immediately blocked the rolling blue sand. Only then did Ning Cheng relax. Only then did he have time to grab a handful of the blue sand and examine it. The blue sand looked just like ordinary sand, except for the blue color, there didn't seem to be any difference. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept into the blue sand and wanted to take a closer look at what kind of material this blue sand was made of. However, the handful of blue sand in his hand suddenly started to turn blurry. In just a few short breaths, this handful of blue sand disappeared without a trace. Ning Cheng once again grabbed a handful of blue sand in amazement. Just like before, this blue sand would disappear after a while. What a strange burial shadow blue sand, Ning Cheng secretly marveled in his heart. This was the first time he had seen this kind of strange sand. The burial shadow blue sand was surrounded by nothing but the rolling and whistling blue sand. Even the ground was made of blue sand. Ning Cheng continued to move deeper into the burial shadow blue sand, leaving behind some spiritual consciousness imprints in the depths of the ground. 10 days later, Ning Cheng didn't even see a single weed, not to mention a single hidden beautiful star gold leaf. On the 11th day, Ning Cheng was carefully identifying his position when a faint voice came from the depths of the rolling blue sand. Ning Cheng could only hear 4 words, Ji Almaru. Ji Almaru. Moreover, these 4 words were repeated over and over again, endlessly. Ning Cheng didn't understand the meaning of these 4 words at all. He was just about to go and take a look when he saw a cultivator without half of his body escaping from not far away. His face was filled with panic, as if he had encountered something terrible. "Hurry up, the burial shadow demon is here." A hoarse voice rang in Ning Cheng's ears. Immediately, Ning Cheng saw a woman with disheveled clothes and disheveled hair brush past him. It was the woman he saw before entering the burial shadow blue sand. This woman had at least a Dao transformation realm cultivation, but she was in such a sorry state. What kind of terrifying thing was this burial shadow demon? Why did it keep calling out, Ji Almaru? Although Ning Cheng really wanted to know what this thing was, he could only escape at this moment. He wasn't confident enough to stop a demon that even Dao transformation divine emperors feared. Chapter 993. Although he couldn't extend his spiritual consciousness in the burial shadow blue sand, his spirit essence wasn't affected. However, once he stimulated his spirit essence, the faster he moved, the greater the hindrance in the burial shadow blue sand. The voice of Ji Almaru behind him became clearer and clearer, and Ning Cheng could even feel the threat of death. A figure rushed past Ning Cheng, and each of these figures had a higher cultivation than Ning Cheng. From this, it could be seen that despite the danger of the burial shadow blue sand, many people still came here. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness forcibly broke through the blue sand behind him and saw a Tao-nourishment holy emperor get swept away by an invisible force. In just a moment, his aura disappeared without a trace. Ning Cheng no longer dared to hold back. His spiritual consciousness storm swept out and formed a spiritual consciousness domain. The surrounding resistance became weak at this moment, and Ning Cheng's speed rose rapidly. The holy emperors who originally surpassed Ning Cheng were now left behind by Ning Cheng. Just when Ning Cheng was about to breathe a sigh of relief, he suddenly felt a chill behind him. A dark mouth suddenly opened up from the blue sand and bit towards Ning Cheng. There were no signs, and there were no fluctuations in the blue sand. Gotcha. The big mouth bit down on Ning Cheng's everlasting blue thunder fort. Lightning splashed everywhere, and the spirit essence backlashed back. Ning Cheng's heart started to churn. Ning Cheng quickly brought out his long spear and swept out with his spiritual consciousness. However, he couldn't detect anything else. Apart from the blue sand, there was only rolling blue sand around him. Ning Cheng secretly sucked in a breath of cold air. Fortunately, he didn't put away the everlasting blue thunder fort. Otherwise, even with that attack, he wouldn't have survived. Even if he managed to escape that bite, he would still end up injured. The burial shadow blue sand hid a threat that he couldn't sense at all, which made Ning Cheng even more cautious. Perhaps because of Ning Cheng's vigilance, after running for half a day, he didn't suffer any more sneak attacks. Ning Cheng also no longer felt the terrifying threat of death, which slowed down his pace. Ning Cheng sensed a rich spiritual qi. Ning Cheng's gaze swept over and found that he was standing in front of a lake. The blue sand here was much weaker, and the closer he got to the lake, the less blue sand there was. 100 meters away from the lake, there wasn't even a trace of blue sand. One could clearly see the verdant grass on the other side of the lake. Since entering the burial shadow blue sand field, this was the first time that Ning Cheng saw a bluish-green color. Ning Cheng did not act rashly. Instead, he stretched out his spiritual consciousness and forcibly checked the surroundings. After the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, he could clearly see that this was an array formation. This lake was the base of the array formation. This array formation weakened the blue sand of the burial shadow blue sand, forming a slightly safer zone. After understanding that this was an array formation, Ning Cheng sucked in a breath of cold air in his heart. Ning Cheng already knew how terrifying the power of the burial shadow blue sand was. With his strength, if he encountered danger here, he could only escape or barely protect himself. However, the formation here had actually blocked such a terrifying blue sand storm. What kind of strength and Tao validation level was required to set up such a formation? Ning Cheng carefully bypassed the lake and walked to the opposite side. His eyes suddenly opened up, and a path made of stones extended into the distance. After confirming that there were no problems with this path, Ning Cheng put away the everlasting blue thunder fort and stepped onto the stone path. The moment Ning Cheng set foot on this path, the shackles on his spiritual consciousness completely disappeared, and a huge verdant land appeared in front of him. There were several cultivators here, and Ning Cheng soon saw the disheveled woman in the white dress among these figures. Ning Cheng felt slightly relieved. Since the woman in the white dress had also escaped here, it meant that this place should be safe for the time being. He sped up and walked over. These people had been in the burial shadow blue sand longer than him, so they should know about the situation here. Perhaps he could find out what that Jiang Mura was, and if there was anyone here who knew about the hidden star gold leaf. But Ning Cheng soon felt that something was wrong. He saw several dead bodies here, and these corpses had clearly been killed not long ago. There were also 2 corpses next to the woman in the white dress. When the woman in the white dress saw Ning Cheng come over, she revealed a surprised look. She seemed to be wondering how Ning Cheng could escape here with his cultivation level. Seeing the woman in the white dress look at him, Ning Cheng nodded to her. Before this charming widow escaped, she had reminded him, and he was very grateful to her in his heart. The woman in the white dress had a dignified expression and didn't respond to Ning Cheng. Opposite her were 5 Dao Transformation Divine Emperors. These 5 seemed to be confronting the woman in the white dress. "Take out the storage ring and fuck off." A cold voice fell into Ning Cheng's ears. The one who spoke was one of the 5 people on the opposite side. Ning Cheng didn't think he could beat even 1 Dao Transformation Divine Emperor, let alone 5 Dao Transformation Divine Emperors. "You want my storage ring?" Ning Cheng looked at the 5 Dao Transformation Divine Emperors and asked. At this moment, he completely understood where the corpses on the ground came from. These people had escaped from the burial shadow fiend, and after arriving here, they were killed by the few who had arrived first. As for why this widow was still alive, it was obvious. Ning Cheng subconsciously took 2 steps back. He couldn't beat them, but couldn't he just leave? "You can't go out, you'll die for sure." The woman in the white dress's voice sounded again. "I what?" Ning Cheng asked subconsciously. The woman in the white dress looked at Ning Cheng in confusion. "Don't you know how terrifying the burial shadow demon is?" Ning Cheng frowned. "We've already escaped the threat range of the burial shadow demon, right?" "Ha!" The Dao Transformation Divine Emperor who wanted Ning Cheng to hand over the storage ring laughed as if he had heard the funniest joke. Then, he charged at Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng was a mere Dao Molding Divine Emperor and a Dao Actualization Divine Emperor. No one else moved. This Dao Transformation Divine Emperor clearly didn't put Ning Cheng in his eyes. He didn't even take out his magic treasure and just grabbed at Ning Cheng. When his big hand grasped down, the space around him completely fell under his control. The powerful imposing aura directly suppressed Ning Cheng to the point that he could not even budge. If it was an ordinary Dao Molding early stage Divine Emperor, they wouldn't be able to resist at all under the pressure of a Dao Transformation middle stage Divine Emperor. Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. This guy thought he was a Dao Integration Divine Emperor at the second step of Dao Vindication. He dared to use this method against him. Just when Ning Cheng was ready to bring out his long spear, another figure rushed in. This Dao Actualization Divine Emperor stopped when he saw this figure charge in. "Senior Sister Fong Lin. You're here too." The person immediately saw the woman in the white dress and called out in surprise. "Junior Brother Ho Fu." The woman in the white dress replied. Her attention was still on the 5 Dao Transformation Divine Emperors. "They want to rob here." Ho Fu soon realized what was going on and stared at the 5 Dao Actualization Divine Emperors. "Attack, if you can keep this woman, then keep her. If you can't, then kill her." Seeing another Dao Transformation Divine Emperor and this man and woman knew each other, the 5 lost their patience. The 5 people on the other side lost their patience and charged at the charming widow and Ho Fu. As for Ning Cheng, perhaps in their eyes, he was just an extra. The woman in the white dress and Ho Fu immediately took out their magic treasures. There were only 2 of them while there were 5 of them. Before they even started fighting, they were completely suppressed. Ning Cheng knew that he couldn't just stand by and watch now. These 5 didn't put him in their eyes because of his cultivation level. When these 5 killed the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu, it would be his death. When the 5 surrounded the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu, Ning Cheng moved. He took out the 7 Bridges Realm book. He didn't have the right to hold back against these experts. The pale white first bridge solidified. As soon as it was taken out, it fused with the Yin Qi of the 7 Bridges Realm book and formed a stone bridge. The churning river of blood became increasingly majestic, like a river flowing backwards, directly seeping into one's soul. The pale white stone bridge instantly swept in the 7 Dao Transformation Divine Emperors. Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness hurt and he spat out blood. This is the first bridge of helplessness. 1 Dao Actualization Divine Emperor saw the words first bridge of helplessness and called out in shock. Ning Cheng felt his sea of consciousness rumble. It was as though the first bridge of helplessness was going to collapse and his sea of consciousness was going to explode. At this moment, the 5 people trapped by the first bridge of helplessness didn't even move. You two, hurry up and attack. The 3 of us are in the same boat. Seeing the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu in front of the first bridge of helplessness, Ning Qing roared and charged into the first bridge. He took out his spear and swept towards one of the Tao Transformation Divine Emperors. The reason he dared to use the first bridge of helplessness to trap these 7 people was because he was sure that the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu would join forces with him. Before Ho Fu could react, the woman in the white dress knew what Ning Qing meant. She took out her magic treasure and attacked one of the Tao Transformation Divine Emperors. At the same time, she sent a voice transmission to Ho Fu. No matter what Ning Qing was thinking, she could only choose to cooperate with Ning Qing first. Once Ning Qing died, she and Ho Fu would definitely be killed by the other 5. Ho Fu also woke up and took out his battle dragon pill cauldron and attacked one of the Tao Transformation Divine Emperors. Since the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu chose to help Ning Qing, the pressure on Ning Qing lessened. His first bridge of helplessness created a cold wind. The blood river under the bridge of helplessness was like a giant hammer that smashed into the chest of each Tao Transformation Divine Emperor. Because the first bridge of helplessness was Ning Qing's magic treasure and also a god art, the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu didn't feel much pressure. Most of the pressure was shared by the other 5. In just a few seconds, Ning Qing, the woman in the white dress and Ho Fu gained the upper hand with the help of the first bridge of helplessness. However, Ning Qing knew that this upper hand was only temporary. He anxiously sent a sound transmission to the charming widow and Ho Fu, "My bridge of coping can only suppress them for a dozen breaths at most. During these dozen breaths, we must kill one of them." Chapter 994. After the white-robed woman and Ho Fu heard Ning Qing's words, they immediately went all out, without holding back even the slightest of means. They didn't think that Ning Qing was lying to them. No matter how powerful the 7 Bridges Divine Art was, Ning Qing was just a Tao Molding Divine Emperor. One Tao Molding Divine Emperor was able to use 7 bridges to trap 3 Tao Actualization Divine Emperors for more than 10 seconds. The white-robed woman and Ho Fu attacked with full power. The pressure on the 2 Tao Actualization Divine Emperors increased drastically. On top of that, they were in the 7 bridges of Peace City, which made them even more anxious. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor Ning Qing was fighting was the one who wanted to capture Ning Qing like an ant. At this moment, within Ning Qing's 7 Bridges Realm Book, Ning Qing's spear patterns sealed him, causing him to panic. Ning Qing was just a Tao Molding Divine Emperor, yet he was this powerful. He even wanted to kill Ning Qing with a casual slap. This Tao Actualization Divine Emperor didn't want to fight with Ning Qing on the first bridge. He was thinking about how to get out of the first bridge. He worried that Ning Qing might have some kind of backup plan. Therefore, while trying to find a way to rush out of the bridge of coping, he also focused most of his attention on defending against Ning Qing. Ning Qing knew that even in the first bridge of coping, it wouldn't be easy for him to kill this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. If there was only one Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, he believed he could kill him after falling into the first bridge of helplessness. Now that there were 5 people on the first bridge of coping, he had to block 3 of them by himself. This Tao Actualization Divine Emperor didn't want to fight anymore. This was the best for Ning Qing. While the spear rune and the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor were in a stalemate, Ning Qing's spear suddenly changed directions. A huge sun smashed towards the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor fighting the white-robed woman. The woman in the white dress was using all her strength to fight against her opponent. She wanted to kill one of them as soon as possible. Alas, her strength was not much stronger than her opponent's, so she could only remain in a stalemate. At this moment, a setting sun descended between the 2 of them. Time seemed to stop in that instant. There was nothing but the setting sun. Even if this wasn't Ning City's first bridge of coping, Ning City's sunset's twilight could still stop time for a breath of time, not to mention that this was Ning City's first bridge of coping. Unfortunately, there was no time, and the Blood River had a setting sun. The setting sun set, contrasting with the tumbling river of blood. It was poignant but beautiful. The woman in the white dress was stunned for a moment before she saw the confusion in her opponent's eyes. Her opponent seemed to have been swept into a poignant sunset at this moment. No, her opponent had stopped moving at this moment. Or rather, her opponent had run out of time. Time divine art. The white-robed woman woke up and without hesitation, her sword shadow sliced through the void and severed the neck of the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. As soon as the primordial spirit emerged, it was swept away by the surging blood river. Ning Cheng, on seeing this white-robed woman promptly cooperate with his sunset's twilight, felt overjoyed in his heart. It saved him a lot of effort. The spear swept back and stopped this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. This Tao Actualization Divine Emperor just found a way to break the bridge of helplessness and saw his friend get killed by the white-robed woman. Ning Cheng, a Tao molding Divine Emperor, actually split his attention and joined forces with that white-robed woman to kill a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. Not only was he not angry, but he was also filled with panic. Because of this panic, he desperately wanted to charge out of Ning Cheng's first bridge of helplessness. Fighting in someone else's territory, anything could happen. The white-robed woman saw the opportunity. After joining forces with Ning Cheng to kill a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, she immediately went to fight another Tao Actualization Divine Emperor who had just broken free. Adding on the fact that this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor wanted to escape, the pressure on Ning Cheng's first bridge of helplessness decreased even more. As the pressure decreased, the first bridge of helplessness power finally erupted. Together with Ning Cheng's God art, it started to suppress this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. The billowing nether wind aura mixed with the surging blood river surged up, making the Tao Transformation Cultivator fighting Ning Cheng feel even more panicked. A rustling sound came, causing him to involuntarily retreat to the middle of the first bridge of helplessness. Once you enter, you will never return. No home, no reincarnation. This voice was like a shadow that he couldn't get rid of, constantly lingering in his mind. Ah! This Tao Actualization Divine Emperor finally couldn't help but scream. The Big Dipper God hook in his hand hooked out a space. This space not only blocked Ning Cheng's killing intent but also created a path for him to charge out of the first bridge of helplessness. Even with the help of the first bridge of helplessness, Ning Cheng's true strength was still some distance away from the middle stage Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. A moment ago, Ning Cheng was still in control of the battle. But after this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor used his space god art, Ning Cheng could no longer control anything here. Sensing that Ning Cheng was bound by his space, this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor was overjoyed. He finally realized that no matter how fierce Ning Cheng looked, he was just a Tao molding Divine Emperor. Ning Cheng's strength wasn't as strong as he had shown. After understanding this, he didn't rush out of the first bridge of helplessness. Instead, he flew up and charged towards Ning Cheng. This part of the world had completely turned into his shadowy world, and a new world formed by the Big Dipper spirit hook wrapped around Ning Cheng. This was a new rule and a new territory. Everything here had been created by the master of the divine hook world. The pressure of death came, and Ning Cheng was shocked and furious. He didn't expect that someone would create a new world in his first bridge of helplessness and that he would be suppressed by this world. Even if his opponent was a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, this was still a humiliation to him. Law breaking. The long spear in Ning Cheng's hand drew out one law after another within the spirit hook world. These laws completely destroyed the original laws of space. Ning Cheng broke the space law of the space god art. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor's god hook world instantly shattered. Ning Cheng charged out of the broken God Hook world and was hit by the broken space law. If this bridge of helplessness wasn't Ning Cheng's magic treasure, even if Ning Cheng's law-breaking God art broke the other party's world, Ning Cheng would have already died. When the blood river under the bridge sent Ning Cheng back to the first bridge of helplessness, the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor had already turned around. Seeing Ning Cheng break his space world, he didn't dare to stay on Ning Cheng's bridge of helplessness. His figure flashed and he rushed to the edge of the first bridge of helplessness. He was about to rush out of the first bridge of helplessness. Apart from the two Tao Actualization Divine Emperors trapped by the white-robed woman and Ho Fu, the other Tao Actualization Divine Emperor also broke free from the first bridge of helplessness and rushed out. The white-robed woman and Ho Fu were shocked. Once these two rushed out of Ning Cheng's first bridge of helplessness, they would be doomed. You ambushed me on my first bridge of helplessness and you still want to leave. Ning Cheng's cold voice sounded. Second bridge of helplessness, condense. The two Tao Actualization Divine Emperors just rushed out of Ning Cheng's first bridge of helplessness. Before they could even walk out, a majestic Tao rune pressed down on them. As soon as the two took out their defensive magic artifact, a yellow stone bridge appeared before them. The word second bridge of helplessness floated above the bridge. The two Tao Actualization Divine Emperors couldn't control their footsteps at all and stepped onto the second bridge. Ning Cheng knew that he couldn't lock these two Tao Actualization Divine Emperors with his power. This time, he gave up on one of them. The Tao rune of the bridge locked onto the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor who almost killed him with a space god art. Second bridge of helplessness. That Tao Actualization Divine Emperor instantly woke up. He couldn't care about his friends anymore and wanted to charge across the bridge. In fact, if he could join forces with his partner to deal with Ning Cheng would have to put away the bridge and run away. In order to trap these 5 people, Ning Cheng had used up too much energy. He no longer had the power to trap the two Tao Actualization Divine Emperors. Unfortunately, the opponents were scared. The 7 Bridges mystic art was infamous. This was only the second bridge and he was almost killed. What would happen if the third and fourth bridges appeared? Facing the second village viewing bridge, at this moment, he just wanted to escape like crazy. He didn't even notice that the second village viewing bridge wasn't as stable as the first bridge of coping. Helplessly watching a person escape from the second-looking village bridge, the white-robed woman and Ho Fu could not do anything about it. Both of them were entangled by their respective opponents and could only let Ning Cheng deal with the two of them. Ning Cheng didn't care about this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. He didn't even communicate with the bridge to attack. All his attacks landed on the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor trapped by the bridge. Don't look at each other, don't hesitate. The moment you step on this bridge, your heart is broken. Even this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor couldn't break free from the suppression of Wang Xiang Bridge. Ning Cheng's spear kept turning into spear runes and smashed over. This time, it wasn't Sunset's dusk but pure spear Tao killing intent. The instant the spear touched the forehead of this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor actually woke up. He roared in anger and his Big Dipper God hook instantly swept up. But under the suppression of the village-looking bridge's Tao waves, his Big Dipper God hook was like a rake. Ning Cheng sneered and his spear runes swept up. He was also at the end of his rope. Stop, spare me or I will self-destruct. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor finally understood how terrifying Ning Cheng was. His killing intent was suppressed by the bridge. The reluctance to leave still hadn't disappeared. Ning Cheng said calmly, when I was at Eternal Realm, I could use 2 of the 7 bridges to trap a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. You don't have the right to self-destruct on my village-looking bridge. Splat. This Tao Actualization Divine Emperor found out that he really didn't have the right to self-destruct. Under the suppression of Ning Cheng's second village-looking bridge and the spear intent, he could only watch himself get killed. You're tuning into the Han Lee's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.